I'm Shane.
I'm Bo.
We are your Kentucky Fried Critics.
Welcome back, everybody. We got another episode for you.
That's right. This time, definitely an odd and no special.
I'm not doing this math, no.
No special nothing. Well, I mean, it's still divisible by 5.
Yeah, I guess.
35.
35, so it's 7. Hey, I did it.
See, look.
I math.
It's not one of those really fun ones. Some people love their 5s and 10s, but it's not everybody. I had to check.
Yeah.
I'm learning something new every time. You know, we got the 11s. We know the evens. We're getting there. We're learning things every time.
I like easy math. I don't like things that end in like point, whatever the hell. I like it when it's just a nice, here's a number. That was the answer. We're done. Well, welcome to the math podcast, everybody.
Yeah, we should stop this now. People are going to get very upset at us. So we'll just roll into our socials, I guess. We'll go ahead and get
there
that
we go.
done.
That's more fun than math.
And we've been doing a good job of just like rolling through them. So we should keep that up and not get lost in math talk. But yeah, so we'll start with our usual ones. That's going to be the meta. That's Facebook, Instagram, Threads. Those are the ones. Again, still not active on Threads. I guess now I should probably actually start.
Since we announced it.
It's been like 4 or 5 episodes now.
Should
in
probably
a row.
post something on there.
Well,
Hi,
I should
everyone.
Certainly at least copy and paste the posts that are already being copy and pasted everywhere else to that one. At the very least.
Very least.
It's a little hard for people to interact if I'm not giving them the place to interact.
Yeah, you got to do your part, man.
That's right. So we'll start using that. I'll start using that too.
You're the tech advisor here. I don't know how to do this shit.
Again, those ones are all going to be Kentucky Fried Critics, all lowercase, no spacing, no anything. The @ and the / are the only things different. You figure it out. I'm sure you can handle that.
Flip a coin. You're 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, if you type it with the 1 and it doesn't work, just try the other.
Try the other one.
After we do the meta app, we always just go on to our YouTube. The YouTube's going to be the one that's a little bit different, but we've embraced that difference. Yes. We love this now.
Our beloved stepchild now.
That's right. And so that one, you're going to find us at KFC Riddicks.
Yes.
Where our rat comes from.
Home of the Riddick rat.
At this point, everybody's had ample time to see him, get acquainted with him.
We all love Riddick rat.
We're still open to other artwork, other lore. If you guys want to, again, if you're a writer, write us something.
Dude, if you're short stories about Commander Pop and Riddick rat. And their intergalactic adventures through space. There's your setup.
You're not limited to just drawing us something. Like,
see, if I was good at doing things, I would do this myself. But I'm only good at watching movies and drinking beer. That's why I do this.
Well, here we are.
Right.
That'll wrap up the YouTube. I think that one gets you all that we needed for that.
Yep.
The next one's going to be the website. The website, of course, that's just shows.acast.com/Kentucky-Fried-Critics. It's a rock something this time. I can tell he's jamming.
Oh, sorry. I'm back. Hang on.
Was there a guitar solo?
Oh, dude, some kick-ass drums.
It definitely wasn't the reggae beat.
Yeah, it wasn't smooth this week. This week it was more hard.
Yeah, I got that vibe.
It had an edge to it this week.
Again, the website's going to be the one, it's where it's the hub for everything. It's where you can find everything you need to find about us. It's our socials for the podcast. It's our socials as people.
Yep.
It's episodes to download if you don't have a podcast player. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just letting you know.
Some people like to do it. I have no judgment.
I already said it too, man. I'm not judging.
I was just jumping in with mine. I don't judge you either.
That's going to be everything there. Again, it's everything. So, I mean, that's everything.
Yeah, if you're not paying attention until right there, you can find everything else.
Right there. And the last one that we're going to do is going to be the email, KentuckyFriedCritics@gmail.com.
There you go. Send us your suggestions, your artwork, your writings, if you do stop motion with small rat figurines, that'd be cool too. Just whatever. This is where you send it. This is your creative space to, show us your stuff.
Talk to us.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got.
Also, like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh.
I had to.
We've not done that in
left
ages.
me. I know.
I can't even remember.
I hate doing it, but you left me open for it too good.
I can't even remember the last time.
I think it was like the first episode.
It's maybe not that far back. Let's not beat around the bush any longer. What are we drinking this week?
This week is Daredevil Brewing Company's Liftoff.
Man, they are not wrong.
Yeah, it says on the can, aggressively fun.
Aggressive is a word I'll agree with.
And it lifted off out of the can when I opened it.
So far, guys, I want you to understand, we're not even talking about the taste.
No.
We're just talking about the experience of opening it. He gave me the warning to open it over the sink, and so I did the very, safely crack it barely open.
Yeah.
And the sound it made when I did that sounded like Liftoff. It sounded like...
So, Lots of fun, but don't open it, around your
Be safe when you open
your
it.
podcast equipment. I luckily didn't get any on.
Be careful around electronics.
It will lift off.
Maybe even be outside.
Yeah, go outside. That's probably even better.
It's definitely a summer beer because of that.
Yeah,
right?
for real.
The taste is good. Again, this is a West Coast.
Yeah, like last week, but this one is it's a nicer bitter.
It's a clean bitter, right?
Yeah.
Like it's bitter, but it's got that nice cleaner taste afterwards. All right. After the bitter starts to go away, you're left with this taste in your mouth that you're kind of like, that's refreshing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like really good dark chocolate.
You guys know us. That's what you're getting right now. We'll give you a bigger check-in at the end.
Yeah, when we're done with all of it.
All right. Well, so if that's what we're drinking, and we've made some
launching references
to Liftoff and sounding like a space shuttle. And what are we watching, man?
We're gonna watch SpaceCamp.
All right. Now this is one we don't always tell you who picks and who doesn't. I let you know. Bo picked our martial arts movie. This one is one of mine. This is SpaceCamp from 1986. That's one word in case you didn't know. That space, no space.
Yeah,
camp.
space, no space camp.
Capital C.
Capital C.
Capital S.
The
C.
place we all wanted to go when we were kids.
And this is the movie that says you can do it.
You can do it. And if some really unfortunate series of events happens, you get to go to space.
Yeah, this, unlike other times where we maybe try to keep the surprise for you, even though it's old.
Yeah,
Jury Duty. We know everybody knew who the killer was in Jury Duty, but it's still fun to do that.
Yeah.
This one is fun to go ahead and talk about because the setup here is
kids go to space camp
and end up
being
space.
launched into fucking space
On accident.
Yeah.
I realize when I say
is it an accident?
Well, but you know what I mean. the kids did not intentionally.
Yeah, the kids didn't intend for it to happen. It's not an accident. It's like goddamn robot's fault.
Yeah, the person who intentionally did it though is okay. We can't keep doing it. While it's not a big deal to tell you they went there, it is a big deal to go into too much too soon. Before we get started with the movie itself, unlike our martial arts movie where I didn't really recap anybody or some of the other ones,
to pronounce names like that,
and I'm not trying to be that guy. I can't do that.
I can't either. My hillbilly accent.
But this one definitely is full of lots of people. Lots of people that we're going to go ahead and tell you who is in it.
This is a those guys movie.
This is and not just those guys. And the first one I'll mention, even though he's maybe not he's definitely not the star. It's an ensemble cast, and he's even probably the lesser of the ensemble. It's our little kid, Max.
Yeah, Max.
Credited as Leaf Phoenix.
Which is why he went right past me.
But you still should have realized he was one of those phoenixes, like River Phoenix.
Yeah, I didn't
get it. They grew up on like a weird hippie commune. Yeah, so this is Joaquin. Leaf was his commune day's name. I don't really know how this works. I don't know enough about. I know the most base level of knowledge about the Phoenix family.
Yeah, this went past me. For most of the movie, I was just like, why does this kid look familiar?
In all fairness, we couldn't find a great copy to watch.
Yeah, we had to watch on the YouTube.
This is one of those ones where normally, we don't tell you because again, we couldn't find a great quality version. It exists in like streaming hell. It does not stream anywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's unfortunate.
It is. If you search for this on YouTube, you'll find it.
Yeah, you'll find it.
There's a couple of places. We're not going to give you the specific one we watch, but they're all essentially probably the same.
Yeah,
cut,
probably about the
just
same.
Renamed.
Yeah, they just ripped it off a DVD or something.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if the quality's.
They taped it off of HBO back in the day, and then ripped it off the tape onto a DVD, then ripped it off the DVD onto the internet.
I think that might be too far, but I definitely feel like it's maybe like a VHS DVD ripper, and then they just made that straight into it was low quality, so I can understand
the audio synced up. That's all I cared about.
Well, and I'm not trying to insult Joaquin Phoenix, but we all know that there is maybe one key feature that is a giveaway that's who it is. Yeah, remember, do audio only right now. They can't see. I see what you're doing.
Good. Maybe it's better that they can't see.
We're not going to say it. We're not going to say it. Again,
it was a little mean. I'm sorry.
We all know. We all know what we're talking about. I'm not going to address it out loud. It's okay. But so in this quality cut of the movie that we had, you definitely couldn't really tell. You couldn't tell. He looked like a normal.
He looked like a normal kid with big teeth.
So I can let that slide that you didn't catch it. And this is also our knowledge of Joaquin Phoenix is not this young. He left acting and came back later.
Yeah,
and that's
we know him
when
high school, like a teenager.
We know him for when he came back to acting. Well, not even then, dude. Like I'm talking think about the big breakout you can think when you probably started knowing his name was Signs.
I was going to say Signs.
And so that's way later.
Something.
Yeah, way later. And that's what I'm getting at. Like he pretty much was not.
He just quit for 10 10 years and then came back.
Well, again,
Damn.
I mean, remember he was dealing with the overdose of his brother for some of that.
I mean, I'd fuck off for a while too.
But so also in this movie, though, we do have Leah Thompson.
Yes.
Back to the Future fame, amongst
I
a
love
thousand
Leah
other
Thompson.
things. Yeah, she's in a lot
She
of
is
stuff.
so cute and everything.
Yeah, and this is her when she was like, again, this is like right at Back to the Future era, right? Like, so she's that same age.
Same
she's
age.
Like cutesy, like
the hottest girl next door ever.
Pretty much. She's our main female lead, right? Like, she's our female lead. Our male lead is Tate Donovan, plays Kevin. He is one of those guys for sure. He's in a lot of random things. You've probably seen him in things. But one thing I know him from, and he was a lead in that too, is from 1992's Love Potion number 9, which
My
was
sister loves this movie.
Sandra Bullock's first like major starring role as well. He is the main guy in that movie.
Yeah, she wore that tape out.
So I immediately was like, oh, that's right. Again, while this was my suggestion, I have not watched it in many years. I own the DVD. I didn't even try to fish out the DVD
of SpaceCamp or Love Potion number 9?
SpaceCamp for this because dude, I don't even know where it's at.
Yeah, there's no way you're gonna find
my DVDs
that.
are well, I mean, I have small children right now. The DVDs haven't been those aren't the things that I watched for a while. Yeah, like they would just be destroyed. There. Yeah. So I while I did
come home,
I do
like
own it. I don't know if I could have found it. And again, one day for all I know, the quality on the DVD is the same. You mean like
probably is? It's probably worse, really.
So there's, I mean, it's not like it's saying that would have been better to watch.
Yeah.
So
the DVD is the cable rip that I was talking about earlier.
But yeah, so I did forget that he was the guy here. On top of forgetting that our secondary male, Rudy is played by Larry B. Scott. If that's a name you don't recognize, I don't blame you. But he was in something. He was in a franchise that I promise you all of you have seen. You know him. You know this guy. He was in Revenge of the Nerds. He was Lamar.
I need to pay more attention.
Like, I know.
He's got to be younger though, right? Or is he the same age?
He's like roughly the same age, dude. Because Revenge of the Nerds is key 80s and this was 86.
I'm mad at myself.
He's just like playing younger in this, maybe.
I'm mad at myself. Go ahead. I'm gonna sit here and sulk that I don't recognize people from some of my favorite movies.
We've got Tish, who is Kelly Preston. She's one of those girls. She's in a ton of things. You've seen her all over the place. She was in the 80s. She was a lot bigger of a name.
Yeah, no, when I saw
her
the name in the credits, I was like, why do I know that fucking name?
She's, again, in the 80s, she was in a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, and then she pops up. I was like, oh.
Well, we got 2 more people, the adults, okay? Yeah. We got 2 more people that are our main cast. And that's going to be Kate Capshaw as Andy.
Another person I'm like, I've seen you in a bunch of shit.
Things. And then also Tom Skerritt. As Zach. You guys know us. We don't talk a lot beforehand, but one of the things that we both had to address to each other before we even started, because of how ridiculous this is that it was over halfway through the movie on either our first or second viewing before we realized she was supposed to be married to him. Because it's only one line. They make reference to being in a family together.
Yeah, like I thought it was
in the very beginning.
First run, I was like, oh, it's his daughter. And then second run through, I was like, oh, maybe it's like her older brother. Then,
halfway through, when you pay attention, he makes a reference. We'll get there when we get there. We don't need to say the line right now. But yeah, he makes a reference to the fact that they are married.
They're married.
But it's only referenced once. Again, every other time they say family. There's no hugging. There's no kissing.
Yeah, they don't kiss once or anything.
There's no real affection between the two of them.
Even when they're being launched into space, he's not like, oh God, my wife is being launched into space. He's just like, oh shit, this is bad.
It's
right.
So strange.
Kind of underreacting, in my opinion.
Definitely. So again, they are married. Forgive us if we make reference.
There's like a 30-year age difference, but they're married.
I don't even know if it is. It's just that she looks way young. I mean, he's got that kind of grizzled.
He's had gray hair since the 70s.
And he's got a gruff voice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he just has that kind of like gruff demeanor.
And that mustache ain't doing him any favors.
Yeah. So that's all of our main big people. There is, however, because I am such a huge fan of both him and just the show he's from, one other person I want to mention. He is very much a background character in this movie.
He's just kind of back there. I'm like, when I saw him,
I
was
like, he's in a lot
of
scenes.
You're that guy.
He's in a lot of scenes and he has a lot of dialogue, but he's by no means a character. I mean, he's not.
No, I didn't even know his name. Do they name him?
Nope. He's literally just launch director.
Launch director guy.
That's his name. Launch director.
Hey, for a launch director, he had a lot of lines, dude, for not having a name in a movie. Usually those guys only get like one. He had a lot. But he is important, so.
This is Terry O'Quinn. Again, I will forgive people who don't know him by name, but If you have ever watched Lost, this is John Locke. This is the badass.
Easily the best character in the entire show.
I love Terry O'Quinn. Lost is what inspired it, but then since watching Lost, I have now noticed that he is almost like the king of those guys.
Yeah,
he is in so many things.
Everything.
And it's awesome because he devours the scenes that he's in. You know what I mean? Like, he does so well. Again, like, he blended right in.
Yeah.
I totally would have believed
He was not
him.
supposed to be the lead guy, and he's like, okay, cool, I'm just this guy. And you're just that guy.
Totally buy everything he does in this.
I'm going to sit here with my coffee. I'm going to smoke 4 or 5 cigarettes. I'm going to run through my dialogue.
His character is great for that, too. You see him, like, slamming the cigarettes in the background. Like, you're not even supposed to be paying attention to him. And you see it, and you're like, that's so real. That's what a dude would be doing.
That's exactly
He's
what
stressed
he would be
out.
doing.
He didn't even really want
He didn't want that cigarette. He lit it. He fucking puts it back out. He's going to pick it up in 2 seconds and light it again. Watch him.
But yeah, it's good, dude. Yeah. It's good. That's going to be all the people that we're going to name. Again, you guys know, come at us if you feel you need to. Don't if you don't. But that's just the people that we feel
those are
important.
our people.
Those are, again, there are other people. I'm sure there are some. Again, we see background teenagers, so you might recognize
somebody that we don't.
These are the ones that we cared enough to talk about.
Yeah, these are our people that we know. If you know anybody, point them out.
Yeah.
We'd like to know them too.
But definitely tell us, though. I mean, if you see them, and again, we're not going to feel like you're being rude. We're not going to feel being attacked unless you attack us with it.
We like being talked to.
Yeah, no. Again, like the YouTube comment where the dude was telling us that we were possibly wrong about the A-track. That's awesome. Yeah. I don't care. Tell me.
Yeah, I wasn't around for it.
We're just taking our best guess. You guys hear us. We usually proceed conversations like that with, I don't know. Maybe it's because of this. Even for the people that are in the movie, you hear, I don't even usually do looks at what else they've been in. Like, you hear me tell you guys what else they've been in.
That's usually just off the top of his head.
Bo can tell you, I'm that guy. I have that kind of knowledge.
We don't have each person's filmography up on IMDb.
Yeah, I have a list of names.
We have a cast list.
Yeah, and so again, like when I'm telling you these things are in, those are the things I know them from.
Because you watch everything.
Yeah, I see a lot of crap.
Just the generation raised by TVs, man. This is what happened. We start podcasts.
Just keep that in mind. So again, like our research is super base level.
We don't do thorough research here.
Yeah. So I think at that, we are done with the people in the movie. One disclaimer before we just start talking about the movie, though, because there might be a whole lot of people. Because again, this one's obscure.
I didn't know about it.
For being something that should be like, this is like Goonies in space, right?
No, it is. Oh my God. I didn't even think of that.
Well, it's because like every 80s kid/teen action movie is essentially the Goonies. Like Goonies came out early 80s and really set the precedence for the 80s. Like,
what if we did it with kids?
Yeah, and so like this is literally essentially Goonies in space, which should have everybody should remember this, right?
Never heard of it until you said something, but now I'm upset.
But there's a reason. There's a
good reason, and I understand when you told me.
This movie has the worst timing. Of any film ever. This movie came out after,
not before.
Yeah,
after.
This came out after
the Challenger explosion.
So the last thing anybody in America
wanted to see was a bunch of kids almost die in space on the space shuttle.
When we had indeed just lost several people from the public. Well, and they were public.
And one of them was a school teacher.
I was about to say, because that's literally what the selling point of Challenger was. The Challenger was literally like, we're going to put a couple of real people,
regular ass Joes, because anybody can go to space. That was what they were telling us when we were kids.
And so the last thing you wanted after seeing that they tried this and it didn't work was a bunch of kids who accidentally
get launched into space. They didn't die, though.
They didn't, but that's almost more of a slap in the face, right?
Because the kids pulled it off, and these highly trained people
Could you imagine being like the sister?
I don't want to.
Of the teacher lady?
I don't want to.
When this movie came out,
I want to be happy.
Again, we're going to be happy. I just had to make that point, though. There was a very clear reason why
this movie got kind of buried.
Yeah. And why it probably still doesn't exist on streaming.
Yeah, why nobody really wants to talk about it.
Nobody's fighting for the rights to show.
If I had the money, I'd do it.
To show essentially what is Challenger the movie. right? Like, but with a happy ending.
A happy ending.
Like we couldn't take that ending, so we had to write it a little bit nicer.
Yeah, it doesn't blow up. The kids are okay.
So
but yeah, that's super bad timing.
I just had to let everybody know that there's maybe a reason you haven't heard of this one.
Did they at least make their money back? I hope they did.
I have no idea.
Probably not.
We live in an era now where this movie wouldn't have got released.
Oh yeah, no, they would have just
shelved it.
They would have shelved it.
If it wasn't out and then this happened, they would have shelved it.
Yeah, definitely. They just would have paid everybody off their contracts and put it on a shelf and burned the negatives. It would have never seen the light of day.
So it's hard to even like really talk about.
Which
like
I guess is a little bit of a good thing they did, or we wouldn't get to watch it now.
True.
Because if I saw this when I was a kid, this would have been like my favorite fucking movie. I loved space shit when I was a kid.
I loved this movie. I was big into sci-fi, and this is like that edge of sci-fi and real world starting to like
just blending together.
Yeah, so this was like the perfect little bit. The Last Starfighter, right? Like, you know, like
I like that one.
It's the edge of like, again, this kid was playing video games and then went to space. Like, this is like even more so a step into the real world, right?
Like I just went to SpaceCamp and I ended up in space,
yeah.
which is like what you really wanted to happen when you went to SpaceCamp.
Yeah, you wanted there to be a reason while you were there for them to be like, now you get to really experience it.
I would have died. I'm not as smart as these fucking kids.
Let's take a step back. You know how we got to start this? We got to start this with the music. And I really wanted to say something about this because I love this.
I feel like it's been a while.
It has, and especially one that I've been excited to talk about, right? Like some of them have just been like, it's just like generic, jovial, whatever. And this is generic, don't get me wrong. But I love the generic combination that we got because it's literally like they were like, we need a child adventure theme song. And then someone was like, but it needs a Star Trek spin.
That's what I wrote in my notes. I was like, old school Star Trek vibes with the pan out with the stars and stuff in the background.
Mine literally is kid friendly Star Trek vibes.
Nice.
But yeah, it has that perfect, it is a perfect mesh.
It's awesome.
You feel that, again, you feel that Goonies-esque, you feel that like kid, The Explorers, you feel that like.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I could do this all day. That one's River, right?
Yeah, that's River Phoenix in that one. Ooh, fuck yeah, we need to do that one.
The reason why I enjoy talking about what song opens is sometimes you get this. You get the song that perfectly encapsulates the ride that the whole
movie is about to happen on.
This is that song, right?
Yeah.
This song gives you everything that the movie is going to be.
Yeah,
this gives you this. It gives you the Goonies vibe.
As soon as it starts, it's
adventure.
like, oh man, this is going to be like one of those adventure movies.
And
where
then you start getting the space teams to it, and they start showing you the stars
and galaxies
nebulas
and shit.
Yeah,
it was
so
good. But there's something super familiar about the music at the same time, and then you see it. You see the name pop up in the credits. Motherfucking John Williams.
Yeah, I mean, he knows how to do it.
And I'm sitting here, I'm going, oh, that's why it's so good.
He knows what he's doing.
Even for this movie.
Well,
he put 1,000% effort into it. This entire score of this movie could have been in a huge, big blockbuster hit movie.
Oh, yeah. It was good, dude.
I love John Williams.
We cut from our stars that we've been panning across to a wheat field. This is not a cornfield.
No,
right?
This
is
a
like
wheat
a wheat
field.
Why did it have
Only
to be wheat?
People who come from like Wyoming and Minnesota join the space program.
Oklahoma?
Yeah, we all know this. You got to come from a very flat area.
I don't know. I thought it was a very odd choice for it to be a wheat field. And a small girl watching John Glenn.
Yeah, she watches the John Glenn orbit the Earth.
Yeah. So this is...
And he winks at her because it reflects light off of it.
So this is Andy?
Yeah, her mom yells out from the front porch.
I know. I'm just saying, though, like, it's so random. We don't need this scene, right?
Well, I was confused because I'm like, wait, when's this movie take place? Because she said John Glenn. I'm like, that was in the 60s.
And
I'm like,
you were like, I saw a teenage cast.
I thought this was going to be like our main character. I was like, and she's going to go to space camp and stuff. And I'm like,
well, despite the fact that she is not, the movie tries to force Andy into being the main character.
Yeah.
Like, they give a lot of things her weighted view and shit where I'm like, but she's not the important person. Why are we pretending like she's the important person?
No, the kids
as a whole. Again, this is an ensemble.
Yeah, Kevin and
it literally
Kat, really
the hierarchy is Kevin, Kat, like one person. Like they are the hierarchy. They're the top. So it goes Kevin, Kat, then it goes Rudy, Tish, And then at the bottom
That is
is
4Max.
Yeah. I mean, that's it, right? Like that's literally, and then at the bottom, then we can start putting adults in.
Yeah, because they're just supposed to be like the authority figures.
Because this movie wasn't even written in a way like they thought the adults were watching it with the kids. This was written for 80s kids.
Yeah. This was the movie kids walked to the theater on Saturday by themselves. Their parents didn't
Watch
even
the
go.
matinee.
Yeah, the matinee, right?
I don't understand why some of the movie pushes Andy. Like this opening scene.
Yeah, this opening scene. This
Again,
whole movie could have happened without that opening scene.
Did not need to be there. We could have cut from stars down to daylight
Right.
into SpaceCamp starting.
Yeah,
and it'd have been just as good.
We could have just started with her as an adult being like, man, I got passed over for the program again.
I don't
It's
even know
cool.
if we needed that, dude. That could have just been part of the dialogue later.
Yeah, it could have been. You could have just really just thrown that in as a line of
Because
dialogue.
that's what I was going to get. So we see
when
her,
they show up to camp, she could have just been like, I can't believe I'm here and
right?
can't go
we
on the
did
space
not
shuttle.
need to see her on the
not important.
on the
On the
landing
Air
strip.
Force
Yeah, we
base.
didn't need to see it. That's what happens.
Yeah.
We leave small child Andy, who we should never have been with in the first place, to another scene of Andy that we never should have seen either.
She grows up to be a pilot.
We see her being a pilot. We see her just land. We see these jets taken across the sky, and one lands, and it's her, and she gets out, and she's like, they told me. There's no way they would have told her in the air.
In the air. Like, they called her on the radio because they were afraid to tell her in person. Like, look, hey, we know you're flying like millions of dollars of equipment right now, but...
And that you were really wanting to be in the space program.
And we're really sorry to piss you off, and I hope you don't just crash it out of spite
you're
or
not
anything.
going.
But
You're
you're
not
not
going.
going. We're going to give it to Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie gets to go.
And so we see her land. We see her talking to...
Thought it was her dad. First time thought it was her dad.
But well, because again, it does. It feels the whole conversation right now.
He treats her like his daughter. Like, oh, it's okay, sweetie. You know, like, you don't get to go into space. But
That's
hey,
exactly how he talks to her.
Yeah,
He's like,
exactly
oh,
how he
since you
talks
don't
to
get
her.
to go, you get to hang out with me. He
We're
says
going
it
to
that way.
SpaceCamp.
He's like, you get to hang out with
you
me.
get to
I mean,
hang
those
out
aren't
with
his
dad at
words,
space camp. That's how it
if
felt.
if it's your wife and this is your husband or vice versa, is that how you would you have been like, you get to hang out with me, or would you be like, oh, you know, like, I mean, the wording here was so strange.
There's a darker movie here. Like, she has like serious daddy issues.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if maybe the writers didn't know what they wanted the relationship to be, and then later they were like, oh,
Yeah, they're
husband and
married.
wife.
It's fine.
Again, we shouldn't have even had this scene, and it just makes things murky.
It makes it even worse. Yeah.
Makes it weird. She's gonna hang out at SpaceCamp, and
Yep.
she does. We don't even
She is
see that
not
she doesn't
happy
like. Well,
about
no,
it.
we don't even really see that until the car ride, which is not the same day that she gets told. She was just kind of like, okay. But then the car rides when she's like, fucking these kids. I don't want to be
Right.
around these kids.
And Tom Skerritt's just like, no, these are clean cut, all American.
All American
You know.
kids. Well, I love that they say that, because then they pull up behind Kevin, our main kid,
In the douche Jeep.
Well, he's in the douche Jeep, and he's got his music cranked, and he's not paying attention to the adults. And then they pull up behind him, and then she starts to make fun of, like, she's like, yeah, sure, all American kids. And I'm like, she was trying to like make a joke like he's not all American. It's like, no, but you're just trying to use like 1960s definition of all American. If you ask me what a 1980s all American kid is, it's that douche.
Oh, and he totally fits the psychological profile. Brash, charming, outgoing, doesn't give a shit. He would be a great astronaut if you could just control that bullshit he's got.
But so, like I said, every bit of her being upset was weird. Because
Yeah,
I was like, he is the 80s all-American kid. The 80s all-American kid was 100%
That guy.
He was a little bit of an asshole. Definitely didn't care about adults and authority. He loved having the cool Jeep. This was, again, even if not really.
Any 80s
That's
movie.
what I say. Even if not for real that
In
this was
movies,
all-American,
that
this
is
is definitely what the media
Kinda
wanted you to
blonde
think.
hair,
Yeah,
you know?
This is what the media wanted you to think the all-American kid in the 80s was.
They're
for
all
sure.
from Southern California.
Again, if we're gonna go with Back to the Future for Leah Thompson, like you could easily swap his character out with fucking Marty,
You could.
and they're the same guy. Right? Are they not the same guy?
Pretty much. And I think Michael J. Fox would have played it better, too.
Well, we're not gonna get into that.
Man, no,
we
I
know
wanna-
he could have.
I want to go back and recast shit now. I need
My
a
point
time
was
machine.
just that we can clearly see
Yeah.
they could have dropped this all American dumb line, because
Yeah.
he is all
He
American.
is.
He is the most all American.
He's more all-American than anybody else in this fucking movie, really.
probably.
From like 1985? Hell yeah. He's got the pink freaking like neon sunglasses and shit. He's got the bad pop music going.
Too cool for school.
Too cool, man.
But so they pull up behind him because he's
in
in
his
Zach's
parking
parking
spot.
space. So that she gets out and she walks past and he starts hitting on her.
He's
right?
like,
He's
hey,
"Ooh."
nice boosters.
Yeah. Oh my God. What a horrible line.
It's funny though.
And then Zach walks up and is like,
Get the fuck out of my
parking space. And the dude was just like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, but
he does move though.
Well, but this is the first time he also drops the knowledge to us that, yeah, I didn't even want to go to SpaceCamp.
Yeah, my dad bought me a Jeep.
The deal was if I did this, I got the
SpaceCamp.
Jeep. It's a pretty sweet Jeep, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it's better than the one from.
Well, that's what he says to everybody. He's always like, it's pretty fucking nice, right? You like this Jeep?
The shitty Jeep from Thanksgiving. It's way better than that one.
Well, yeah, because this is at least a Jeep. That one was like
that was the same Jeep from 1985. They just reused it again in 2025.
No, because this is at least like an actual a Wrangler.
Yeah.
The one in Thanksgiving is the Cherokee.
The closed wing. Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, I mean they can't be the same. They're from the same era. I could believe that.
His was at least brand new.
Whoa, definitely, dude. His was tricked out too.
Yeah, had the big antenna.
The antenna that was curved,
and he had to tie it down.
What was that for, dude? Is he picking up space signals?
Right, talking to the aliens, like Tish says later. You gotta get the transmissions from space.
Something, dude. It was a wild fucking antenna, dude. While we're watching Kevin like sit here dumbfounded by everything and moving his car, he looks up to see
an airplane,
an old
like
barnstormer. It's an old barnstormer,
like dust
right?
plane.
Yeah,
like
it's
drops
for
the dust
farm
on crops and shit.
It's for crop dusting, exactly.
Yeah, that's the word.
And it lands, and again, it's so bizarre.
I don't think you're allowed to do this.
Well, what's funny though is at first, like you're watching it, and you're like, you see Zach, who is the principal
commander.
He's the guy at the top of SpaceCamp.
Yeah,
like it's not even like he's an instructor. He's like the instructor.
Yeah, he's
the guy at the top
of SpaceCamp,
and he sees it happening almost like it was okay, like it was normal.
Like, oh, hey!
And so at first you're like, oh, it's gonna land. It's gonna be like this is the top notch teacher again. Think 80s
this is gonna be like the Tom Cruise getting off the.
He's gonna jump out. He's gonna have a bomber jacket on.
Aviators got the little.
Isn't that
scarf.
not what you felt like? Right? It's
guess what I was waiting for.
It's give me a second. It's Corey Feldman in Meatballs 3 when he fucking rides in on the jet ski and he does the ski trick. It's that kind of vibe, right?
Totally.
But that's not what happens.
No, it's just,
this is just the setup for Catherine.
Yeah, it's Leah Thompson. She just
her dad and her are just this is how she's getting dropped off to SpaceCamp. Like it's a totally normal thing. And
this
is like when those privileged
sure that's restricted airspace.
This is like when those privileged parents let their kids ride a horse to fucking school or some shit because they happen to own a horse farm, and you're like, yeah, that's not cool. Other people can't do this. Did you get a waiver signed so everybody could ride the horse today? No. Take that shit somewhere else. Same vibes when she lands in this fucking airplane.
If I was Tom Skerritt, I'd have walked over and been like, get that goddamn plane out of here.
It's not clear right now because again, you might even feel like, oh, she's been here enough times, they're okay with that, right?
Yeah.
But later we find out this is literally her first. No one knows
first
her.
time. Nobody knows who the fuck she is.
The only kid we know has been here multiple times is Max. Every other kid, as far as we can tell, this is the first time they've ever come to SpaceCamp.
Never been here before, and Kevin doesn't even want to be here.
Right? So it's so crazy that this was her.
Yeah, that bothered me. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is restricted airspace.
It would definitely be.
And you can't just go flying into it.
Well, I don't know because, okay, so they're not at a launch site. They're just
really
close to one. They're like 20, but I think it's like 20 miles. I don't know.
Still seems like you'd get in trouble for this.
I just think that it's bad form.
Might not get F-16s called on you, but you're definitely getting arrested when you land.
Well, definitely that. And I don't understand how far away she lived.
Like did they fly a plane from Wyoming or whatever the fuck?
Or did they live like down the street? Because either way, it's weird.
The wings fold. They just pulled it out of the garage.
Either way, it's weird, right? Like it doesn't matter.
She made an entrance though. I don't remember her. I'd have been like, yo, the girl who showed up on a plane.
But you're already I guess you're already the nerd.
I mean, Ric Flair strut, man. You're gonna be king of the nerds. Do it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. At first, I was like, I mean, nobody's really gonna care. And I was like, oh, but you're at nerd camp.
You're like at nerd camp here. They're gonna be like,
that's dope. So dope. Oh, you know how to fly a plane? You're right.
Forgot your audience, did you?
I forgot where they were at. I was trying to apply like me and my friends.
Right, me and my friends would just be like, "Why the fuck?"
I'd have been like, "Dude, that was that. Don't get me wrong.
It's cool, but why?
I wish I could fly a plane, but that was lame. This ain't this wasn't the venue.
Yeah,
this wasn't the venue for that.
Like, cool, you can fly a plane, but why? Why here? You could have just drove up like a normal
But
person.
we can tell as this happens, though, Kevin's got the hots. Dude.
Oh yeah, immediately he's just like
He follows her in a line.
steals another kid's tag to get on her team. That some Asian kid, I can't remember his name.
Hideo Takamimi. He steals Hideo Takamimi's blue pass so he can be on the blue team. This is outrageous.
You would have been thrown out.
You've been thrown out. The name tag didn't have. I mean, it's not a name tag. It's just a color tag.
Just
they
a
were
color
just like,
tag doesn't have like a
Hideo,
picture
take
or anything.
It was so strange. But so he steals it. He walks on. He's like, all right, let's go. He stands with Catherine in line. Here comes Andy. Catherine immediately starts hitting her with all kinds of crazy.
Yeah,
she's like, oh, you.
Her.
I know you. I read all about you in the Young Astronauts program.
I heard you got passed over again this year.
So rude.
It's like, oh, she knows it too because she immediately shuts up. She's like, oh, that's probably dumb.
And then she slides over and she gets introduced to Rudy. While
Like-
she's talking to Rudy, Rudy's chewing gum and she's like, spit it out. And he starts screaming at her. I love this joke. It was so stupid.
Rudy, ma'am. It's
She
like a
goes-
Marine.
Yeah. She goes, no, sir. The gum. Just spit out.
Spit the gum out. This
Spit out
isn't the
gum.
Marine Corps.
Yeah, we're not in the Marines. This isn't.
It's not ma'am. You can call me Andy.
Yeah, it's all good. And she's like, I think I'm going to make you what?
Mission specialist number one.
I had such an issue with this because I was like, why did we see her talk to Catherine if she wasn't going to give Catherine her job assignment?
I guess because she pissed her off by
I know, but it was so weird. What do we see happen? It goes, she talks to Catherine, and then she talks to everybody else, and she gives them their assignment, and she immediately talks to Catherine and again goes, you should be this. It was random. Come on now. It was.
Yeah. We could have finished after she pissed her off. She could have just been like, all right,
You're going to be this.
you're going to do this.
Nope. Everybody else, though, she immediately is just like, this your job. This your job. This your job.
Yep.
She gets done with Rudy. She gets to, was it Tish next?
Yeah, it's Tish. I like Tish.
Did you hear her say her last name? So it's definitely just Ambrose, right?
Yeah.
Which is it's a common, well, not super common, but it's a common last name.
Dean
Common enough.
Ambrose.
But she says it Ambrose. She says my name. That's me, Tish Ambrose.
Ambrose.
I was like, stop it right fucking now.
I didn't catch that. I caught that like.
Well, you never hear it again. You never hear it.
No.
I couldn't tell you the rest of these kids' last names.
Hell no.
I only caught hers because of that. Because I was like, that is absurd right now. Tish Ambrose.
She wants to put the accent on it, make it fancy.
I can't. She wanted to make it something, and she definitely succeeded.
I like her reasons for being at SpaceCamp. She wants to be the first like outer space radio DJ and talk to the aliens.
She had just gotten done doing a course of radio astronomy.
Yeah.
And then she immediately says, you know, like being a space DJ. And I was like, radio astronomy is not like being a space DJ, but okay, go off, queen.
Right, go for it, girl. I love it. Go and try and get those aliens to talk to you, babe.
Like, I love the approach, but so, and really what they were trying to do here, like, again, the 80s movies are so transparent like this, is that she is just supposed to be the representation of the next generation. Right?
Yeah,
like she is
the new age.
She is what's going to be in NASA next. And it's supposed to be that we see that Andy really...
She just blows it off like, okay, crazy lady.
Yeah,
like,
and it's
totally.
like, but that really is the future would be signals.
Yeah, but
and
we get a
this and
little
that.
bit of a hint that Tish isn't just some ditzy dumb
just a
person.
little
She
bit.
picks up on the fact that Andy's being kind of shitty to her. She's like, oh, okay, you think I'm dumb.
Well, I mean, she was being a little bit dumb.
I know, but you shouldn't be mean to people like that.
You shouldn't. I agree. She's also a
Especially
student.
when you're being like the
when you're the teacher.
professional
Yeah,
and shit.
well, you're the teacher. You shouldn't.
And just because you're pissed off you didn't get a job. She has a stick up her ass for like the first 20 minutes of the movie.
You're being generous. I would say it's a lot longer than that. I would say it's well into space.
like the first hour.
Yeah. The next person we meet, Max. Our little Max.
Little Max.
We find out two things. One, Max has been here many years.
Yep, he's like a regular.
And despite the way Andy acted in the beginning, this is also not her first year. Because
right?
she
knew
recognizes
who he was.
him.
She's like, oh, you're here again? What do
Don't
you do?
you need to be back
You
in
need
the
to be with the
juniors?
junior kids. And he's like, no, come on.
I graduated. I've done it 3 years.
I've done it 3
You gotta
years.
let me. It's time for me. You gotta let me.
Don't let me. And then he quotes some Star Wars. He's like, I'm ready to serve the Empire.
Well, again, what we know is Star Wars now.
Yeah, it did not. It just sounded generic sci-fi.
Until 40 minutes into the movie.
When they actually
when
name
they
drop some
literally
people.
name drop a couple of Star Wars characters, it could have been any just generic, like he was just a sci-fi kid.
Could have been Dune. They have Imperial Guard in Dune, don't they?
It takes a while before it's super clear that it's only Star Wars.
He's like, I'm ready to defend against the Empire, my princess and shit. And I'm just like, oh, I like this kid.
He's a dorky little kid.
He's a dork. I'm
like
he would have been my friend. We would have talked dorky shit.
After Max is when she calls out for Hideo Takamimi. So he says, he immediately goes, yeah, well, it's pronounced Kevin, whatever
the fuck his last name was.
I didn't even care.
I didn't even write his full name. It's Kev.
Again, instead of like stopping everything and being like, where's Hideo Takamimi? You're in charge of kids, dude. You wouldn't immediately be like, where it? Like, I don't care that you thought this was funny. I need to know where he is. I am responsible legally for this child's safety, and I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, definitely.
Nope.
That's a lawsuit right there.
She just immediately says, okay.
All right, whatever. Fine. You're in this group. Totally cool. Not how it works.
No.
He'd get kicked out. She's getting in trouble.
Well,
we've got a search party for Hideo.
Where is Hideo? Did he just take the yellow badge, or did he not throw a fit at the table and say, I clearly got given blue. Look at the paper. You just told me. It's right there.
I heard my name. I heard you fucking say it. I am he.
But no, that's not what we see. After meeting Kevin, she then, like we said, Andy loops back to Catherine.
Back to the beginning.
Even though she should have just already assigned Catherine a job as well. Gets the actual introduction. And then she's like, we got 2 positions left. Y'all can fight for it.
Yep. Who wants pilot? Who wants flight commander?
Yeah.
Kevin's like, I don't give a shit.
Well,
she can have whatever she wants.
She wanted commander.
Yeah.
And Kevin's like, that's fine. I don't want to be in charge of people.
I wouldn't either.
And then this is the beginning of the weirdest, like, anti-feminist statement I've ever seen from a female character who they still want you to feel as being pro-feminist.
Right.
Because
Kat's like, I want to be the first female flight commander. And like, yeah, fuck yeah, girl power.
She's like, I've done studying
I'm going to the Air Force Academy
I know things
next
about
year,
trying to be that person and that career. And Andy says, fuck that noise. You're a pilot.
Because I'm a pilot.
I want you to be the pilot.
You have to be like me.
He's going to be the commander. And he's like, Kev's like, I don't
want to do that. I don't want to
really want to be the
Rudy's
pilot.
Job? He doesn't sound like he really does
like,
anything.
Can I just be the dude that hangs out in the room? I don't want to do any
Rudy,
of it.
bro, switch with me.
Where's Hideo? Can Hideo come here?
Hideo, you come be flight commander.
I'm just going to hang out because then the whole team is made and I'm just extra.
I'll just be extra. I'll float, pivot. If somebody needs me, I'm there.
That's how it should have been handled. But no, she literally like gaslights it. She gaslights the fuck out of this kid.
She's just like, no, fuck you. You're going to be just like me and you're going to like it.
There are several times where Andy clearly has a read on the type of personality traits that Catherine has and uses them against her.
She really does.
Like right here, she clearly does. And then later on, Andy should be trying to lift up all females wanting jobs. And all we've seen her do is scoff at Tish for being interested in radio astronomy. And then tell Andy she's wrong about what career path she wants.
No, females should be pilots because they control the ship. Like, no, but the flight commander's in charge of everything.
She's definitely not an ally in that movement.
She's trying to hold a bitch back.
Several bitches back.
Yeah, fuck.
Again, we mean bitch in the most non-offensive way.
In the most polite and respectable way.
We understand.
You bitches understand.
We understand that it definitely is not one of those things that should go hand in hand in a statement together. But we're just kind of stuck in some vernacular. But the point is, Andy is definitely not helping her sisters in the movement.
Hell no.
That's the real takeaway. That's what we should focus on.
For real.
So this is the moment that I started to really notice between like this scene when she's interacting with the kids and like the opening of the next scene where she's giving them the tour is what the fuck kind of accent did this woman playing Andy try to use? It is some weird, bizarre Southern, I guess the wheat field.
Southern Nebraska
I guess the wheat field, right?
What she interpreted as country. Yeah, it is not a real accent from anywhere in the United States
I've ever
encountered.
It's a weird Southern drawl. It's something I don't think she would have had.
Because a couple of astronauts in the 60s were from the South. Now everybody assumes like all astronauts have to talk that way.
Sorry for interjecting with the accent thing. This is the moment where in my notes that I had really stopped to notice how strange it was.
So really bothering me now.
I can't tell you what the line was, but I can definitely tell you there was something said right here about this time between the two scenes.
Just sounded wrong.
That I was like, God damn, this accent's super thick. But we leave this moment where she assigns everybody their jobs to then she's tour guiding.
Yeah, well, she's a tour guide all of a sudden.
For what is obviously the museum. It's the place that makes money for when SpaceCamp isn't SpaceCamp.
Isn't doing shit, yeah. It's where you can see all like the lunar module and the Mercury
yeah, like
thing.
whatever things that they either get like on loan from other museums.
Smithsonian and shit.
Well, it's probably not any of them that are there because those things usually are like stationary.
Yeah, stationary.
But it is like, because again, like there are more than one thing has been on the moon.
Yeah, a lot of things.
And well, I mean, even like landings.
There are at least 5, I think.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, so like one of them is at the Smithsonian, not all of them. And so like whatever one rotates. And so like, you know, like they just
Apollo
get
15.
it. Yeah. So they just get these things. Whatever one rotates is 100% one that we don't talk about.
Yeah,
like
it's one of the ones that's just like, yeah, it landed on the moon. Nobody cared.
Yeah,
by
nothing
that
special
point.
happened. That was like one of the routine missions,
Right.
completely normal.
They didn't even bring back rocks.
Well, they probably did, and that's all they did.
Yeah, it's like, just go.
They
just land, get you a scoop, come right back.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, we don't even get to drive the car around. No, just a scoop and come back.
But so they're going on this tour, and while they're on the tour of all this weird NASA stuff, we see what is the first bit, I would say, of truly make believe in the movie.
Yeah,
right.
This is the
most of what we see is 100% SpaceCamp. Like it's
it's totally legit.
It's the stuff that looks cool when you're 9.
Yeah.
By the time you're Kevin and Catherine's age, which is again, I can't explain why she's so excited because again,
Looks
by the
good
time
on
you're
a resume, I guess
maybe by the time you're 17, it shouldn't be as cool as it looks to Max.
Yeah, when I was Max's age, I would have definitely went.
But again,
when
like,
I was 17, I could have gave a fuck less.
Because by the time you're 17, you should be able to look around and be like, yeah, none of this actually has anything to do with actual
being. I'd be better off just joining the Air Force or the Navy or something.
So when we get to the museum, though, like we see, like I said, our first taste of not so much space camp.
This is where we get into like 80s fun kid movie,
like totally non-true sci-fi. Right? This is Jinx.
Jinx, our magic robot.
He is robot / AI, right?
Yeah,
he is totally an artificial intelligence.
He's artificial intelligence.
And not only is he an artificial intelligence, guys, when I tell you he is AI, I mean by today's standards. Like this, they've got this thing giving Chat GPT style responses to questions.
The more you talk to it, the more it learns.
It is ridiculous. The level of like, this definitely didn't exist then because it barely exists right now.
Yeah.
Like we are on the cutting edge of this existing
now
today, this second, as I am speaking
30
to you,
years after this movie came out.
Like right now, as you're listening to me, this recorded a week ago. This is current cutting edge technology, and they're acting like we had this and had it in a self-contained robot unit
that could move around by itself.
Well, and again, like the reason that most AI can work like the way it does today is because it is either from a server that was big enough that has like an archive of the internet pre a certain age, or it is actively connected to the internet so it can find
and it's just learning new shit all the time.
And so like this is saying that this is a because again, this is 1986. This is
the internet didn't exist.
So it's saying that this is a self-contained unit that when they ask for directions,
it gives it to them. It just responds to everything you say, does whatever you tell it to. But it's very, very literal. Like it takes everything super literally. So it's not super terribly useful. So they kind of regulated it to $27 million handyman.
They tell us specifically that it malfunctions under the temperatures that it would be in space or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
The circuits were, it wouldn't last more than 2 hours or something, like 20 minutes. I don't remember. He gives a random amount of time that in the environment they would actually need it to be in.
They give us a science reason why it's just in this museum puttering around handing tools to people.
Why it's in the museum that is part of SpaceCamp. Again, this isn't even like a legitimate like mass museum. Like, this is a museum attached to SpaceCamp. So this is
a rotating exhibit. It's probably not going to be the same shit next week.
Again, when I say the stuff that is in this place, I mean it. When I say like if you, as someone our age, as like a mid to elder millennial, ever went to your state or a local state's children's museum.
Yeah.
You know the level of what I'm saying most of this stuff in the place looks like.
Pop-up displays and shit.
Right. And that's what most of the camp looks like. And then all of a sudden we're popping out AI robots.
Right, AI robots that can talk
and do whatever you say. Not even just talk. Let's fully flesh out this conversation about this robot right now instead of taking it in parts, right? Later on, we'll even have the robot start using slang, right?
Yeah.
Like you hear it uses
yo, Max.
I have such a problem with this because, again, like we're talking that this is 1986, dude. We as a society haven't even met Data as an android, and Data had a problem with contractions.
Yeah, he couldn't even say can't. He had to say cannot.
And you're telling me that in 1986, this is supposed to be a failed AI?
It's a failed attempt, but it's got slang and vernacular and shit down. I look forward to its rap album coming out soon.
It's moments like this where you're like, again, this is what gives it the Goonies level adventure, right?
Yeah.
Like, because it has got a, at first you're just like kids at SpaceCamp. That's okay. Kids in SpaceCamp might get trapped in space. That's a little bit of a leap, but all right. But now we start to see the aspects where it's like, no. They totally disbelieve. They want you to totally lock everything you know about the real world out because this is not the real world.
All logic and reasoning, just throw it away. We're going to enjoy this fun ride because now we got a young boy and his robot.
That's right. And then he is best friend. They are best friends.
Immediately, they have even the look. Like, Max is just like, robot. And the robot's just like, oh, cool kid.
Well, they know each other.
They do.
Because, again, he's been at SpaceCamp
Been there forever. And he's just like, hey, man, this year, you and me are going to be bros.
My favorite part is it's so both a product of its time and ahead of its time because this Jinx is like a weird amalgamation of R2-D2. So, you know, it's a product of its time.
Yeah.
But ahead of its time because it's also somehow BB-8 from the new movies.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right? Like it's rolling on wheels, but it is a sphere.
Yeah. That's true. That looks like the Capsule Corp rocket ship from Dragon Ball Z.
All around, I don't understand the design logic of why you would have a spherical object that doesn't
on three
that doesn't
little
BB-8
wheels.
It, right? Like literally,
that makes sense. It rolls like a ball. This
thing
little,
is spherical, but then has little tiny legs with wheels, and I'm like, that design logic doesn't make sense. We need to get past. We need to get past Jinx. I could spend forever on Jinx and how ridiculous Jinx is.
I love Jinx.
Well, I mean, he is. I mean, we'll be talking about him more. I just mean like we need to get past this part of it.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, ooh, yay, favorite character.
Well, you didn't even know the level of how important he was going to be.
No, not yet. I was just like, oh, yay, we got a robot even. Fuck yes.
But yeah, like I said, we have to move past him now. I could spend all day on Jinx. We'll talk about him more. He is
important.
Several times, but as far as like our like I said, our break to overall talk about Jinx for a moment, we need to move on. After we meet Jinx, we get a cutaway to the dorms. Right.
Yeah,
first just the female dorms.
The girls' dorms.
Yeah. And we see this is our first real clue to how smart Tish is.
Yeah.
We see her like the random girl in the background asking,
how many pounds of thrust does the rocket booster have? And she just spits it off.
Well, first before she even spits it out, someone says the like equation of how you can figure it out. Then she spits it out, right? Like we're supposed to know that she is doing hardcore
she just like
math.
did the math in her head because she read a math book once
or something
or some shit.
Again, it's so crazy, but she is definitely just like way smarter than anyone is giving her credit for.
I got mine and I was just like, this is where we learn Tish is a savant.
Definitely.
And way smarter than she may.
Or maybe on the spectrum.
Could be.
Right? Because, you know, like maybe, or as she tells us soon, memory.
It's just she remembers everything. She just
which is, I mean, it could be like.
It just gets jumbled.
Yeah. It could be like some high level something.
Yeah, could be.
I don't know.
High functioning autism.
Something. In today's world, it certainly wouldn't be against the grain to think that.
But right now, we're just like, oh, you're just like smart and dumb at the same time. Cool.
Exactly. Well, when she tells us about it, like, so she shows off how smart she is, and she does the weird backflippy climb down.
She monkeys
the foreshadowing to the fact that she would be able to handle herself in an anti-G environment.
Right.
This movie is nothing but foreshadowing for the things that are going to happen.
Yeah, as I said earlier, you get payoffs for like
everything you see has a payoff later. But
this is her little monkey bit. She's like hanging down from the bunk bed.
And the bit that lets us see that she's going to be useful for something.
because she can remember everything she reads.
Like, I mean, again, like everything you find out about people serves a purpose. But yeah, so we see her like flip down to Catherine's bunk, and then we get this total like 80s girl moment. But while they're talking, she tells us she's got a photographic memory. Essentially, she doesn't say those words at all, but she says she remembers like everything
she reads.
But it's all jumbled up, so it's not really as useful as it sounds like it is.
Yeah,
and literally to hammer that home, even Catherine says, "What'd you get on your SATs?"
Like 850 or something like
She's at
that.
800 even, which I do believe is like half. Because like, well, it depends. Kentucky is not an SAT state.
No, we have the ACTs.
Some private institutions in the state might require an SAT score. Most colleges here use ACT scores. And so I don't know exactly what year, but again, I know these type of random things. The SAT has both been out of 1,400 or out of 1,600 tests. So depending on the year, she either had exactly half or slightly better than half, but certainly not on any kind of intelligent level you would expect from someone that just dropped the bomb of being a photographic memory and doing the crazy math that she did while she was sitting on the top bunk. They definitely want us to know that she is dumb
but smart at the same time.
She's dumb smart.
Dumb smart, which is just
stupid intelligent.
Which is the best kind of people, right? Because they're kind of dumb, but they're still smart enough to have fun conversations with.
And then while they're talking in the bunk, we have to have a moment again, and this doesn't even get followed up with, but it's like they wanted to make sure that you felt the 80s vibe of it. Again, at the time, it was just the vibe.
Yeah.
but for us, we know it's just like the 80s vibe of it all, of having a makeover scene. They didn't even finish it.
Yeah, she starts. She's just like, oh, you should let me do your makeup.
But there was the attempted makeover scene. And again, like, is it an 80s movie if we don't have the John Hughes? Again, that's a very John Hughes.
Yeah.
It's 16 candles.
Got to pull the makeup out, otherwise the girls can't properly bond yet.
Exactly. It's the Breakfast Club. It's 16 candles. We got to have the moment where they fully change.
See the one where the girls pull the Game Boys out and like pass Tetris back and forth.
Well,
that's real bonding.
Well, then let's me and you write our own John Hughes 80s movie.
I love it. Yeah, let's do that.
And we will flip it.
We'll flip that
script
bullshit
on all of
They're
it.
not sitting there doing makeup. They got like football going on. They're playing.
And someone
Tetris
pulls out.
and shit.
Yeah, someone pulls out the Game Boy and says, "No, dude, like this." While they're talking in the bunk, we hear we hear a lot of dumb conversation, but the funniest thing I think we pick up on is Tish asks her what they're apparently they have to write an essay. No one told us, we didn't hear about it, but then she asks the girl what the essay is going to be about, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to write mine on why I'm going to be the first female shuttle commander." And this is after she already got into the headbutt conversation about the pilot.
And she's like, "No, you're gonna be a pilot." She's still just like, "No, fuck you."
It's a great small snub at Andy. Like she's like, "Fuck that bitch."
I'm gonna be a commander whether she likes it or not,
and I'm gonna make her read. Because again, like, who else is gonna be reading it other than the person who is like the leader of her unit?
I would do it too,
right? Like, you know that's Andy's job is gonna be to read this.
This is just
essay.
my opportunity to cut a promo on you, and you have to read it because
it is your job. Your job. You made me write this, and now your job is to read this
goddamn word. You bitch.
Right? Again, it's a subtle thing. It might not even be actually implied by the writers, but that's how I took it.
That's how I took it too. She's just like, it's going to have to read what I have to say.
She found her moment and she took it, right?
Respect.
We get to see, it's Kevin and Rudy.
Yeah, Kevin and Rudy. We gotta find out. Rudy, I love his reasons for being here. He wants to open the first fast food restaurant in space.
Yes.
Rudy T's, baby.
And I agree. I think it's
even astronauts want a Big Mac, man.
I think that is amazing, and I think he's got a genius intellect. Before we even get that, just to prove how much of a douche Kevin is, literally as the scene fades in, so you hear the conversation fade out, is him talking about his goddamn Jeep and how cool he is.
He's just like, it's a pretty sweet Jeep, but I had to come to this stupid camp first, but I guess it's an okay trade.
They want you to hear this fucking conversation so many times. Like, they're just like, don't forget. Do not forget that Kevin is here, and the only reason he's here is because he got this sweet Jeep. We can get back on track. You're right. Everything Rudy had to say about franchising space was super cool. I just had to mention.
Great idea, and it will happen eventually,
I just had to mention the stupid Jeep conversation.
The stupid Jeep, yeah.
Well, but we had to have it hammered in in our head.
They need to have it hammered into theirs.
In case our
just like
audience,
Andy with the pilot thing, we had to deal with it. Now, so the fuck you.
In case our
man
audience,
loves his Jeep.
In case our audience doesn't want to go find the movie, I just want to make sure they understand. Some of this stuff really gets hammered home. That Jeep is one of them.
It is important. He will die for that Jeep. He almost kind of does.
Shh. Again, they already know. We've already told them.
But no, I totally relate to Rudy here.
The fact that he's a smart kid, but he struggles with.
He's like science. He really likes learning and shit, but he's like bad at it. I feel that.
Well, do you know what my take even with him is? It's a little bit of like he's slowly formed anxiety. Like maybe he's not even bad at it because he was picked on so
for
much,
wanting to learn. So he just kind of
slowly like now he just like he's got this gut feeling.
So he just clams
associated
up with
it.
Yeah, that could be.
I mean, both are valid. It could be either way. I just keep trying to put it through a modern lens. We're both right in different ways about the same interpretation. Well, about different interpretations of the same scene. I got there eventually.
There we go. It's a hard sentence to put together. It's fine.
Especially on the fly like that.
Yeah.
But so while they're talking, though, after we hear about this anxiety or whatever he's got going on with his education, we all of a sudden get Kevin's outlook on life, which again is 100%
80s douchebag, cool guy, right?
80s all-American kid.
Totally.
From a movie point of view, at least.
Definitely.
Take on life, which he says, I sleep in late, I don't care.
I drive too fast, and I don't take any of this shit too seriously, because we're all going to die.
Well, right now, he says we're all going to die. Later on,
it's because we're all going to get nuked. And I was like, wow, what an 80s outlook.
What a Cold War, dude. Right? I was like, man. And it's so funny. It's like
the Iron Curtain hasn't fallen yet.
Right.
That's right.
The interpretation of this comment through the lens of knowing that later he makes the nuke comment, I was like, God damn, you are such a
it's like your
you're
dad,
all in. Yeah,
your dad built a bomb shelter in the backyard, didn't he?
He's waiting. Like
he's ready for it. He voted for Reagan.
He's been waiting ever since JFK made the announcement about Cuba. He's like ready to go.
So that day he took his shovel out in the yard and he's been digging ever since.
Lets you know how much of a, and again, like being kids that seen both of it. Again,
we were around for the end of it.
We saw more of it being rehashed in our television.
Yeah,
but we still saw it. We were exposed to it.
Saw it.
It's so weird having been exposed to both sides of this.
Russia's the old enemy. No, they're kind of our friends now. Wait, they're our enemies again.
We could all die tomorrow.
It's like, wait, I've done this before. Everybody's freaking out about it now, and it's like, wait, hang on, this was just me in the 90s. Worrying about if Russia was going to nuke us or not.
But as they finish their conversation, they're basically like walking around the corner, and you can hear Max getting picked on by some bullies.
Yeah,
douchey guy in the white off-white.
I
don't know what color shirt this was.
Piss yellow. I don't know.
I felt when I first saw it, I was like, it's got pinkish hues, and then the more I saw it, I was like, no, it's just like dirty white.
Right. He's not using his Clorox bleach, man.
Something.
His whites aren't as white as they could be.
Yeah, it's like a collared. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, douchebag polo fucking shirt.
Well, he totally, in his face, I don't know if I do know him from. He
looks familiar.
He definitely looks like he played a douchebag in something else. He's got douchebag
prep
face.
School douchebag face. Yeah.
Like when I seen him, I was like, nope. Yeah, of course, this guy is the asshole. Like I mean, like I thought we were gonna see more of him.
No, this is like his only scene.
But he's got the kind of look where you're like, oh, he's about to be the antagonist,
right? Like him and Kev are gonna fight later in the movie.
Nope.
Just him being an asshole to Max.
Just because Max is hiding Jinx.
He's hiding Jinx in his closet.
Which is fucked up. Everybody's going to ask.
Yeah, man. Like, you could get everybody kicked out.
Max should not have freaked out.
That is a $27 million piece of NASA equipment that you stole.
And hid in a locker room.
And hid in your fucking dorm.
Like a glorified locker room.
Right? Like, we're all getting kicked out now.
Because it's like one of those open space dorms, right?
With
so
the bunk beds.
Yeah, it's literally like a locker room. It's like a locker room they threw some beds in.
That's exactly what it is. Because I think that it's just lockers down the wall.
Space, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, come on now. He definitely opens Max. He opens up. Max definitely opens up on the wall right here is the locker they were saying Jinx was in. So I mean, it's not like they walked to the locker. It was right there. But yeah. So we do see he's got Jinx hit in, and when they find out it's Jinx, like at first they were all like, it stops everybody. They're like, that's cool, and they were like, what can he do? And he shows them. He asks us some questions, and this is that moment where you're like, oh, full on AI.
Yeah, full
on today AI coming out of this thing's mouth.
When they first opens it, somebody goes, "Oh shit!" He's like, "Ah shit! You can do that in the waste receptacle part of the space." It starts giving them description of where they can go take a shit,
how to get there,
how to get there.
And so again, like I said, this is full AI. This is like it would have to have connection to a map to know this, but this is a full autonomous unit.
Yeah,
this is the most make believe part of this whole thing.
They're all about it now. They're like, dude, that's so cool.
But then Douche Kid ruins it for everybody. He starts, well, dude, it's mainly Douche Kid. Douche Kid is the one.
He keeps telling it to do different things.
He's like,
way
lift your
too
leg.
fast. Do this, do that.
Lift your leg.
Spin around on your head. Do a flip.
Until it falls.
And it fucking short circuits.
The legs look like it just breaks out.
Yeah, it like falls over, sparks fly out of it and shit, and it kind of just sputters and fucking pricks. Killed it.
Poor little guy, dude. He deserved better.
He did, and Max is very sad. Kev and Rudy kind of tried to help.
I guess. Kev is still douche, dude.
Yeah. I mean, you could have done more than just like, hey, stop.
Well, no, I mean, like, after it's done, like, the way he interacts with Max.
Police. Murder.
I'm not even talking about like the actual interaction. He is kind of okay when he gives the dude the look and shit.
Like,
he's
dude,
like,
you're a dick. What
but
the
I mean,
fuck
like when he actually talks to Max, he's just kind of like,
sorry about your luck, kid.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like to the one that it mattered to.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's just like, well, that sucks.
Okay,
dry it up. Get back to work.
We do see that's exactly what happens though. Max does get to work.
Max is a fucking genius,
isn't he? Though
I didn't realize he was this smart. I thought he was just like kid who likes to go to space camp.
Well, is he this smart? This is the only time we see this. This is the only time we see it.
But he magically fixes this thing.
Convenient for storyline.
It really is.
Plot convenience here.
For 5 minutes, he's the smartest kid in the fucking world.
Because he fixes a $27 million piece of equipment from NASA
with a screwdriver.
I would love to have been able to tell you guys Flathead or Phillips, but that we don't see. But we don't get to see the end. We only get to see the handle. But I can promise you, this is not like some kind of specialty NASA screwdriver.
It's just a regular ass screwdriver.
This is your dad has it out back in the garage type screwdriver.
It's even got the like black plastic handle and shit.
Dude, there's no way. He just fixed it.
He's like, boop, little.
Now, in all fairness,
put this wire here.
As soon as Jinx turns back on, I do have the question of, he fixed it. Jinx is on.
Yeah, he turns on.
But he fixed him wrong, dude, because he then says something about how just to himself, he's like mumbling about how those kids should be zapped, right? Just like being silly.
Max is like, wish those kids could get zapped for what they did to you. And what Jinx is like, yo, I'm on it. Pulls out this like taser.
Jinx goes fucking full Skynet
I'm gonna go zap him.
He is like full on. He's about to send the Terminator back in time to kill this kid. It's outrageous, dude. I couldn't believe that
Max has to chase him down and be like, dude, you have to stop taking shit so literally. And
he says, why?
Jinx is like, well, how am I supposed to take stuff?
Why?
I love Jinx. He's my favorite.
Then now we get like our
training montage.
This is montage. So let's kind of brush through this.
This is next day where the rest we're gonna go do all the simulators.
The blue team is doing everything, a little bit of everything, right? So the main takeaways I would say here is Tish, as we said, is Valley Girl fashionista. She hates the jumpsuits.
She hates them.
They
let her keep all her watches and hair pieces, so I think it's nice.
In the
weird star things in her hair. Yeah.
Well, and on her face, dude. She rocks the things on her face, man. Like they're like little star stickers.
Things.
Yeah.
I've seen girls do that, little stickers and shit.
But then we get to see the weightlessness simulator thing. It looks, guys, again, if you're not gonna watch the movie, just to set this up for you, it looks like the bottom of an office chair, but on
with like a backpack rig that you're strapped into, and you float, and you're like held up off the ground.
100%. Like it looks that cheesy, that cheap. This is their weightlessness simulator.
That's their weightlessness simulator, and they just push Trish across the room,
and she goes,
just smacks into the wall.
It was
Tish. I keep calling her Trish. Tish.
These names, dude.
I am the worst for names. If you ever meet me in real life, I will forget your name, and I'm very sorry. I apologize now.
This moment now, while we see the weightlessness simulator, that's such a word.
It's such a weightlessness simulator.
Yeah.
Say that 10 times fast.
But so when we see this, like when we see the over her shoulder, like in the background, is the first time you get a real look at some of the like simulator stuff, because that's what you can see in the backdrop. It's like the weird simulator room type things and shit. And I was like, yeah, this is full on children's museum. Yeah, this is 100%. If I've not,
they had like the bouncy room.
Well, that's what I was like. If I've not been to
Where
this
they had like the
exhibit.
bungee cord where they took you into it and you just bounce
I was like,
that.
yeah. I was like, if I've not been to this exhibit, I've been to one like this. I have 100% been to things this cheesy,
This cheap, like the cardboard cutout of a shuttle with the
was
joystick.
just like, this is too much. This was supposed to be high end SpaceCamp.
Couple of computer monitors and they run shitty fucking Earth graphic on it. Fly the ship.
Well, and that's just it too. Like while we're doing all the montage, we see that, right? Like we see this moment where the console unit that they're using for the simulator is all old school analog, right? It's all switches,
buttons,
and dials, and it's even like the screens are like mini TVs. So it's supposed to be just like live feed TV monitors is what they're looking at. So it's all old. This is all like
curved glass.
This is all 1960s level shit that their mock up simulator is using.
Apollo's astronauts used.
And then to try to make it look like they updated it, all they did was slap two computer screen like monitors projecting a fake globe like
Earth and some numbers
just flashing around.
Random number generator flashing over here.
Neither of those have anything to do with whatever the fake console is displaying.
No.
It is so, even in 1980 86 people had to have been looking at this and being like,
that's pretty jank.
I don't think those things go together.
I could have built this in my garage. What the fuck?
100% I could have.
A couple of pieces of plywood, some Christmas lights, were good.
If I had had the computer program to run whatever it was
Earth thing they were showing up there,
I got it. I could do this. It's all just lights and fake switches. It's Star Trek.
It is. It's totally Star Trek. And if you want the thing to move, you just get a couple of your boys outside with some 2x4s and shake it, right? We could totally redo this movie, dude. But then we get Kat in the spinny chair.
We get with the gyroscope.
The gyroscope chair.
They like hinted at earlier. Yeah, this thing is.
I would have thrown up.
At the same time, though, I remember seeing this. I remember seeing this for so many things as a kid. Like I swear Nickelodeon used to set up.
Oh yeah, on like Nickelodeon Guts. This was the thing.
Yeah, dude,
like ride the chair and then run down this thing.
I've always I've never
done
had
it,
an opportunity.
Dude, I would do
this. I love these gyroscopic.
This one seems especially fun because you have to try and stop it from.
Well, it's got the joystick.
It's got the joystick, so you gotta like try and like stabilize it.
Counter movements. That's what specifically what Andy says.
So that one's more like
a
game.
Yeah, she's like, you gotta counter the movement. You gotta push against it.
Maybe I wouldn't throw up because I'd be concentrating.
But this is that moment that I hinted at earlier where Andy just straight gaslights the fuck out of Catherine.
Yes, she does.
Because literally, Catherine's like, this isn't my thing. I'm not gonna be good at this. That's how she starts the conversation, getting in the chair. Soon as it starts, Andy's like, at first she's kind of helpful, right? She's like, oh, you want to push it this way?
Yeah.
Push it forward. And then as soon as she does it once or twice, she just starts screaming at her like she's a moron.
Yeah.
She's like, push it left. You're not doing it. It's coming at you the other way. What are you doing? And literally, she takes the fact that obviously Catherine is like this ADD OCD type of person. And she's like, oh, I know that I'm going to, because when it stops, she's like, yeah, of course you couldn't. I'm not actually that surprised that you weren't able to do it this time.
Yeah, I just calls her out on it like, you suck.
And so she's like,
you visibly see her back stiffen like, bitch, I'll show you.
I want 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. You let me try it.
This is right after that she's like, nobody should do it more than like a minute or 2, right? Like
otherwise you're dead.
Or something stupid. She definitely says like, you shouldn't do it. And then she's like, all right, I'll sign off on that. And I was like, what the fuck just happened?
She's determined too. And Kevin even tries to like come in and like, give her kind of a pep talk.
Was it a pep talk? I think he was just trying to hit on her.
He was only give her a pep talk.
But the pep talk lost and it was just hitting on her.
Well, he was just like, don't try so hard. And she's just like, maybe you shouldn't either. And he's just like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and keep trying.
You're forgetting the best part of this, right? When he makes his move, he brings up the full moon and she's like, are you a werewolf?
What are you, a werewolf?
I was like, stop it right now. This is so funny. It was such a cheesy.
It is.
It was cheesy on both of their parts, right? It's cheesy for him to say it again, they're in SpaceCamp. How cheesy is it that you're like, the moon, it's gonna be a full moon.
It's gonna be a full moon.
This bitch has gotta love moons, right?
Yeah, right. Just space stuff.
But it's super cheesy that she was like, oh, full moon, werewolves. And I was like, what?
But at least he didn't be like, "Don't worry, I don't bite," or
man.
something like
It
that.
could have went. It could have went way
so
worse.
much
It
worse.
could have went way worse. But so he does successfully get her to go out, despite the fact that she even says, like we shouldn't
can't
do this.
sneak
We'll get in
out.
trouble. Well, she's like, I think that well, she doesn't
curfew.
say it's past curfew. She doesn't say that she thinks they'll get thrown out of space camp. But obviously, she's implying if we get in trouble, they might throw us out. Bitch, this place needs your parents' money. They aren't throwing you out of shit.
You anywhere. NASA's super underfunded at this point.
Well, again, you keep saying NASA. Space Camp's not funded by NASA.
That's
Space
true,
Camp is
too.
an independent organization. This is a dude who
dude.
opened a museum and runs Space Camp. You are looking at this the wrong way.
I actually don't know a lot about space.
No,
camp.
that's how most space camps are not like they have
nothing to do with NASA.
Yeah.
I was lied to as a kid. I swear.
It is literally just like what you see. What you see in this is not a misrepresentation.
It says at the end of the movie, filmed at space camp.
Yeah, so again,
Huntsville, Alabama.
It is not a misrepresentation. Like I have seen some of these things where it's like glorified carnival rides as part of the things, dude. Like so.
All right, maybe I'm not upset that I didn't get to go to space camp.
You might have been upset that your parents spent so much money because you and me are the kind of kids that would have seen through the bullshit.
Yeah, we would have seen through it and just be like, this is a fucking carnival. I could have went to goddamn Camden Park for like $20.
Well, so I could have done it like 100 times.
Yeah,
this summer
100 times this
instead
summer.
of whatever I just
ran
did.
the whole park.
So again, you're definitely the takeaway. Is definitely this is what it looked like.
Yeah,
this is what it was. Sorry, where were we at, man? I went off telling you about that. They're about to go. They're getting ready. They're getting ready for their date. And so what's funny is he implies that he already knows
he can get
how
he can get it cleared.
Where
it's gonna be fine.
He can get them there. Not only has he not gotten it cleared, he doesn't know where or how to get to
the freaking shuttle landing site or whatever.
He has to try to rely on Max.
He does. He goes up to Max. You've been here a lot. Do you know how to get to the launch site?
Max is 12.
Right?
How would he know?
Does he know?
Do you think the school has ever gone there by foot? Because that's the only way he would know directions.
Because like, if my mom and dad brought me here, man.
Well, even if the space camp ever took a bus there,
he
probably wasn't paying attention to the directions.
No,
There's 6 lefts and a right at the next light. He wasn't paying attention.
He's looking out the window hoping to see the spaceship. That's what's happening.
So again, it was ridiculous that that's who he went to. But then Max was like, I know who will.
Jinx will tell me.
What the fuck?
He has to. This is our first.
Jinx is Google Maps now.
Yeah, he's Google Maps now. He just pops out and he's just like, oh, go here, go there, go there. And we're like,
oh, I can't do that one. It goes right by a dude's office.
I need a secret way. And Jinx is like, oh, secret way. There's a little tiny turnoff right before the thing. I'm just like, oh, goddamn convenient, man.
Google Maps, dude.
Right? Super good AI. Even understands like low key. Like, I need to keep this shit DL, buddy.
Well, again, we already said he knows slang. Yo, Max.
Yo, Max.
He knows slang, dude. This thing is
the best robot.
The smartest thing in the world. During the conversation, though, we do get more sci-fi, and I think this is maybe the first time
he calls him Luke.
He's Star Wars. It's the first time we get a direct Star Wars, and I started to be like, even myself being like, oh, he's not a sci-fi dork. He's a Star Wars dork. They just kept it real nondescript.
Because when he first asked Max, like, how do I get past the stuff? He's like, eliminate the Imperial Guards or some bullshit. And it's like, no, that's not what I mean.
Yeah. Then we cut to the date. This is when we see that antenna, right? This is the scene.
It takes up the entire length of the Jeep. It's like hooked
the angle
into
they
the hood.
show you it's in the dark, and you can clearly see this antenna. Like I
want to know what that's for so much now. It's gonna bother me.
While they're on their date, though, we get a few brilliant lines from Kevin, such as, "Oh, so you're really into this space stuff, huh?"
Smooth.
To the girl who is the most anally obsessed
gung-ho fucking space cadet ever.
Like, come on, dude. Like, you're not even trying. Like, that's not even small talk.
Best line.
Like, that's not even small talk.
Like, that's day 1 shit, buddy. We're on like day 14.
I was just like, I don't understand what we're doing.
Your first thing should have been like, yo, why do you try so damn hard?
And then we get from her that she couldn't wait to grow up, and I was like, bitch, you're 16,
right?
Do you even have a driver's license? Is that why you flew here? Because you couldn't drive?
Because she can't drive.
Yeah, you don't need the license for that. She was in with a dude who knew how to fly. That's all she needed. I'm telling you.
That must be actually kind of nice. You can fly a plane.
I don't know if that's true. Don't quote me on that.
Sure it is. It's America. You can do all kinds of shit.
So again, though, I was just like, you're not an adult. It's so weird that you were like, I
can't wait to grow up.
Not can't wait, because that implies she knows that she's still gonna grow up. She said I couldn't wait until I grow up.
She's done, in her opinion.
Yeah,
I have grown.
That's why it bothered me.
I am a fucking adult at 16.
Yeah, that's why it bothered me that she said it. I was like, couldn't wait to grow up because you're so grown.
Right. Oh well, we all fucking thought that when we were 16.
I don't know if I really thought
I didn't think I was grown, but damn sure thought I was immortal.
I'm of the ilk of I never wanted to grow up. So like to me at 16 or 17, I wasn't trying to say I'm an adult. I was like, I'm a glorified kid.
Mine was like, yeah, I'm immortal. I can't die.
I'm still like a glorified kid.
I'm a giant 9-year-old. Yeah, I will admit to that. I need my cartoons in the morning before I go to school. Or not school, work. See, look, damn it.
At the end of this, they have what is the most bizarre philosophical conversation / argument I've ever heard in my life. And it's the thing that devolves into we're all just going to get nuked.
Yeah, we're all going to get nuked anyway, so why try?
The clear and present statement of the fact that this is Cold War era. Yeah. We've already beat that conversation down, so we don't need to bring it up again. We got excited the first time we talked about him. But yeah, so now we know that this is, like, as much as he seems like it's a carefree lifestyle, it's actually it's stemming from a place of, I'm worried that the world isn't going to be
I'm
here.
afraid everything's gonna freaking end, so I'm afraid to try anything.
Right, so this is how
screw it. I just don't care.
Right, and so it's not as confident as he made it seem.
It's all bravado.
Yeah, exactly. And what's strange though is, in the middle of this philosophical conversation, the movie sets it up like this was also somehow the weirdest teen romance moment we've ever seen, because they start to do the like stare at each other, like lock eyes thing, and I was like, am I misreading this? Because I didn't read this moment.
I didn't read it as romantic either. It was more of like, oh man, like you have a lot of problems. Right. We should probably sit here and talk about them for a little while.
I was totally shocked that that's the way that the scene got played.
I know I'm like hyper obsessive and like very motivated, but like you seem like you have like legit demons we need to deal with. Like how are you okay?
That's not what we get though.
Kevin is that guy when you look at him and you're just like, you good? And he just goes, yeah. And you go, no, for real. Then he just breaks down.
Then we get Jinx giving them up, right?
Yeah, Jinx gives them up.
Overhears Zach.
Yeah, because Max did not talk.
No.
I want to point that out.
But Zach and Andy are basically just like yelling at everybody. Like,
where are they?
We can't be responsible for kids disappearing.
Yeah, you can't. We need to know where the fuck they're at. Where are Kevin and Kat?
And Jinx overhears them.
And being the literal son bitch he is, he just goes, "Oh, they're over here, this many direct feet off from this point," because he has a GPS lock on him.
And literally, dude, like nobody questions it. There's like, okay, that's where they're at.
Yep, that's where they're at. Off we go. They show up right as soon as they're about to kiss.
Finally, yeah.
Like,
they're about to have this sweet moment.
Please stop this.
What's so awkward about it is
this is the worst romantic scene I've seen in a long time. How?
That they would have heard that vehicle.
She didn't even react when the headlights hit her.
Right.
And she's still just like,
I was like, this is so unbelievable. I can't believe that they want us to believe that's how this happened.
Is my least favorite part of the movie because it's just awkward as fuck. Wasn't cute, wasn't romantic. It was just shoehorned in because they had young people and they felt like they had to do it.
That's definitely what it is.
You don't always have to have a love story in every movie. I am a firm believer in that.
For some reason, Catherine gets in like legitimate trouble because she did something wrong, but she still wants to blow up at Andy. Don't get me wrong, she's right.
Yeah,
because she blows up at Andy for
being
projecting
to her,
projecting the pilot shit onto her. And so she's right, but it's just maybe not the right time because you did legitimately break the rules.
Yeah,
you are in legitimate trouble.
You should be kicked out. They should be calling your parents.
I understand she got lied to. I understand.
I get why she's mad at Kevin because
I understand the predicament.
He cleared this shit,
but at no point do you have the right to be upset at the adults in this situation because at no point did they have any part in this. You were to them just the kid who broke the rules, and you should be able to see that that's the situation you're in.
Everybody's upset, so I'm going to be upset about this.
What's even crazier is that while Andy is having this said to her by Catherine, she also projects more of the pilot shit onto her.
More of the pilot bullshit on her.
she starts saying more about how she needs to be more responsible, or she's never gonna be.
You gotta learn this. You gotta cross every T, dot every I. You're not allowed to make any mistakes because that's how I was taught, and that's how you're gonna learn it. And I'm like, calm the fuck down.
Like, what just happened here? I was the same way, man. I couldn't.
You are
believe it.
not her fucking drill instructor. This is supposed to be a fun camp.
Right? Well, and then we continue with it not being a fun camp, right? Because
Fuck.
then we go into the boys' dorm and we see Kevin losing his shit at Max.
This wasn't fair. Don't go off on my boy Max just because you didn't get any.
Well, and not only that, dude, he is blowing up on this kid to some crazy levels for what you know was a slap on the wrist at SpaceCamp.
Right.
Because as I already established, they want their parents' money.
Yeah, so
Nobody's getting kicked out.
despite how I feel, they're not going to kick them out.
And so there is well, again, regardless, that's even more of a reason not to blow up. Like, if you thought you were going to get kicked out, maybe that explains why you're so upset at this kid. If you know you're not, if you know that you're still here,
Let
and
it
you
go.
blow up on a kid like he blew up on this kid,
Fucking just tears his entire world down.
dude, he's a douche.
He's in there. He's just like, first thing Max says is like, "Yo,
You're no
Han Solo. I didn't talk. I didn't rat your ass out. Jinx did.
Yeah, and then he's like, I'm not Han Solo, and all I was like, you sure as shit aren't.
You
Kevin.
are not.
You're nowhere near that.
You're an
cool.
asshole.
You wish you were that.
Just
cool.
tear the entire kid's fantasy world to shreds in front of him.
It's
you fucking
outrageous,
dick.
dude.
He's like, Star Wars isn't real. We're all just regular kids, and you need to just go the fuck away from me. So Max runs off to go have himself
he's
a good
upset.
cry. I mean,
And
understandable.
Jinx, after already previously going Skynet, now goes all HAL 9000 on everybody and starts concocting a plan to give Max his wish. So he's like a weird mix of HAL 9000 and a genie.
Yeah, because Max is just like, I want to go far away. I wish I was in space. And Jinx is just like, all right, man, I got you. We'll get your ass to space. Goes in Bluetooth with the NASA computer.
How can I get Max down
And they seriously just brainstorm it for a while. Just like we're like they're
his
even
name
adds him to the registry of
his name's not
astronauts.
on the rosters.
It is now. Bunk.
It was so random. I was like, this is
USB plug, man, before it's time. I'm telling you.
I
Just
guess
plugs it right in.
the amount of like stretch of belief of what they've got
For an
going on for
80s
technology is so insane.
Didn't even have the internet, but he can just magic link with all the computers.
They needed a moment of some kind of crazy logical gymnastics for us to get kids in space.
Yeah.
And so they could never figure it out. And so they were like, magical robot.
Magical robot can figure out a way.
Magical robot gets kids space. Like you've already said, this is pre-internet. Like, we're watching this thing. They're
It's
not
Wi-Fi,
they're not
basically.
they're not at NASA.
No, he's just at like the
He's
computer
at the SpaceCamp terminal.
But he links with NASA's
dialed
computer.
in. Yeah, he's dialed into this NASA computer.
'Cause the computer
and the
refers
NASA
to-
computer also apparently has a vocal
It refers to itself
circuitry.
as NASA. It thinks it is NASA.
It is so.
Which I find a little bit of a problem. We should stop
Oh,
that.
man,
If the computer thinks it's NASA, that's not good.
Oh, so the next moment is where we get our first look close up of the simulator. The simulator.
Oh yeah,
room.
this is
where they're doing their stuff, and Max is on the arm outside.
He's distracted. I love him. He's walking. He's like, I'm the small one. Why do I always have to do the dangerous stuff? And I'm like, that's a good point. Why are we?
Foreshadowing.
Pays off later like everything else. But I agree. He's the small one. He shouldn't be in that fucking thing. That's dangerous as fuck.
And then we get to see the inside of the shuttle simulator.
It looks like the shuttle pod from Star Trek.
Well, again, dude, I
Just
said,
like nothing.
this is low budget children's museum
Yeah,
level
it is
stuff.
cardboard set.
This is, you get to sit on a cheap felt covered
Yes.
seat and you're flipping switches that may or may not turn on random LED lights.
Yeah, it might.
It is old school cheap. For sure.
Our computer monitors make a return.
But at least the computers now look nice.
A little nicer, yeah, it's a little better.
It's showing some high level 80s
some 80s graphics there, baby.
And then we see in the background what is my favorite part of the simulator.
Some actual like engineering.
Yeah, where you see Rudy is in the background like doing wiring stuff.
the
Like he's
with
got like
the
a full, he's got
panel,
the schematics in front of
Right.
him and he's actually like trying to wire this.
Because they do like a power outage.
And you can see
thing.
like the lighting is like like flickering as he's like figuring it out. I don't know how you would make that work, but that is so cool.
That is really cool.
Obviously, it's something to do with really simple circuits, right? Like they're just like, you know, like as you touch things.
Yeah,
like,
it's not going to electrocute anybody.
Yeah, but it's so dope, and I would love to be in. Like, give me an escape room that lets me do something like
that'd
that.
be cool as fuck. You got to figure out the wiring to open the door before the thing, like the gas kills you or whatever.
To me, like seeing him do that looked way more exciting than everything
that was going on in the front.
So we see Catherine screwing up as the pilot because she still wants to be.
She leaves her post.
She wants to be command.
She does, but then she gets up out of her chair to go try and do Rudy's job.
She wants to be command, and she proves why she's not even good at that.
Oh, I mean,
because
Kevin's not helping.
Well, because she can't trust people.
No, she has to do it all herself. She's micromanager.
Yep. Kevin, on the other hand, is just like, well, fine then. If she wants to do it, I'm not doing.
I'm not doing nothing. They're telling him to like get it all under control, and he just whips around to Kevin like, "Hey, it's not my job, man. I'm tired of doing everybody else's work."
And
we're gonna die. Oh!
Yeah, no, we just see like failure left and right?
Yeah.
Like we see them in the back messing up the wiring. We see
guys
him up front.
doing the control stations are dying laughing. They're having a great fucking time.
Well, it's probably the most entertaining thing they've seen in weeks, dude.
They're just doing dry ass fucking like procedure shit, and then this comes on.
The funniest part was when Kevin did the fake answering machine because they were like, "We need to talk to Catherine. Catherine's busy right now. Please message it to me." I was like, that one's good. That one's golden. We don't live in that time anymore. But yeah, so then all of a sudden when it's finished and they crashed, literally Catherine and everybody in the back, the only one who's paying attention, the only one paying attention is Kevin. Kevin's like, we crashed.
We're dead, guys. No survivors.
Okay.
All right, whatever.
No one else is paying attention. They're still arguing.
Andy comes in and she's fucking pissed.
Well, dude, I'm not going to lie to you.
I agree with her.
But the level of which she rips them a new asshole is
a little much for kids.
It's super much for kids, dude. Like, I bet you...
If they were in actual astronaut training...
No, dude, I bet you even in astronaut training on your first day in this simulator... It's not that hardcore.
Yeah,
the
probably
ass ripping
not.
that you get. That was intense.
It was. She's like, you killed 4 people.
Like, maybe not for the 17-year-olds, but Rudy is like maybe 16 or 15. Catherine is 17 or 16, so she's maybe on the edge. Max is 12.
He's a little fucking kid.
Well, and on top of that, he was on the arm.
Yeah, he was outside. How is this any of this his goddamn fault? He's strapped into that chair. He couldn't do shit.
He's innocent of everything.
Leave Max alone. But she turns around. She blames Kevin for all of it.
Yeah.
Andy does, because he was the flight commander. You're responsible for all this shit. And he's like, it's just fucking SpaceCamp.
Well,
calm your fucking shit.
Well, and he should point out the obvious, which is the fact that he didn't even want to be.
Yeah, he does. He's just like, I didn't want this job. You made me do this. You should have gave it to that bitch over there who wanted to be the commander. I would have been happy with Rudy's job doing wiring bullshit.
Now we get a look at our computer again, going all war game style, like running through programming.
Still trying to figure
it's got options on a screen, like they just exist, right? And this is like programming that would not exist in it. Like it's like, oh, let me find this setting. Ding, 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 ding.
How about this one? Will this get our boy Max into space? How about this one? What about that one?
How about this crazy flight thing that has to happen? It's so much. It's so crazy. It's insane. But
they can't come up with a solution.
Engine test.
We find out from Zach because he's putting up the flyer.
Field trip time.
Yeah, field trip time. Jinx is like, I got this. This is the answer. And lo and behold, magically out of nowhere, our team is the ones who get to go. Imagine that. The people who killed themselves the day before in the simulator are the ones who get to go actually sit on the space shuttle.
Before you go all the way here, I want to point out, Mr. You noticed most of the conversational foreshadowing, or like the actions foreshadowing. Did you notice the subtle background drop foreshadowing that happened here? The poster on the wall as Jinx like rolls through the little hallway, where like that sign up sheet thing that the kids look at later on is a poster for the Daedalus space station.
Oh shit, I missed that. Everything in this movie has a payoff later.
I only know that not because of the fact that I paid attention for the second viewing. The first viewing I was laughing because I thought thought it was going to be the name of the space shuttle because we haven't seen that yet.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, oh man, that's too much.
Right.
Like the only thing that could have been more on the nose would have been to call it the Icarus.
The Icarus.
Then it really would have had Challenger issues at that point.
That would have been bad. You can't call it that.
But so I thought that's where it was going when I first saw the poster, the first viewing. It really does pay off everything.
Every little thing.
You just got to see it. We start rolling fast from this.
Yeah,
you're right. Like as soon as he says
that's
the
it.
field
as soon
trip,
as Jinx is like, that's it.
Then we instantly see field trip, and we see the kids are walking across.
They're talking even like, wow, how lucky is it that we got picked?
And then we almost instantly see them in spacesuits walking across the
little gangway.
And onto the shuttle. Because not only do they get to be there, they get to be the lucky kids that are sitting inside.
No insurance company in the world is signing off on this.
Now Jinx starts pulling some high level shenanigans, right?
Yeah, he does. He's gonna mess with the thermal curtain.
Thermal curtain, yes. We have thermal curtain failure will be imminent.
And when that happens, one of the boosters is going to ignite. And if one of the boosters ignites, they have to launch the other or it'll launch Crockite and it'll blow it all up.
We quickly end up having to go in a full launch. Again, the scene happens probably as quick as it really would, right? Like,
yeah,
I mean,
it takes like 10 minutes for the scene to actually go through.
Well, not the very, very beginning, though. Just like the part where it starts like shooting, like they immediately have to make the choice. Like they're like,
as that one rocket booster goes off.
And so that's what I mean. Like that's probably true to life, right?
Yeah,
like that immediate part where they have to make the decision quickly.
Andy and Andy has to like switch seats with Kat because she's in the pilot seat. And as soon as she gets up there, she's like, launch it or we're dead.
Tells Zach like we have to go. Like trust me, it's gonna. And Zach's like, you heard it. This is where we see Locke.
Yeah,
John
Locke for the first time.
He is here for the rest of the movie.
Yep, and he's fantastic. He's not like a key person, but you see him and he has lots of lines.
At this point, though, we see inside. Zach's like, they're right.
Yeah, we got to go hit it, or they're gonna die.
Let him take off.
And poor Kat doesn't make it back to her seat, so she spends like the entire launch like pressed against the wall in the back,
one of those like weird like cutout things you see where people have to like match it. Right, it's like one of those. And
poor
we get
thing.
Well, and then. As it's going, we get the weird, like, ominous takeaway from Jinx real quick.
Yep.
Bye, Max.
Bye, Max.
I was
friends forever.
I was like, dude,
the robot's evil, I guess.
Right? Like, I was like, this is creepy. This isn't. I don't feel like they're friends now. I feel like he sabotaged them.
At that moment, you're like, oh shit, the robot may have not been a good robot.
I told you he kind of goes HAL 9000, dude. I meant it.
Bad robot. Bad.
Yeah, so at this point, they have no option. They have to go in a full orbit. We're not going to deal with all of the intricacies. They have lots of issues, but they do make it in a full orbit. As they're breaching full orbit, though, they realize comms go out.
Yep, because this bird wasn't ready to fly. They've only got short range radios. There's like one oxygen tank on this bitch. No food, no water.
It just wasn't ready.
They were not meant to be doing this right now. But it's fine. They're just going to autopilot.
Dude, these kids are way too calm.
Dude, I would have been flipping my shit.
They're all fine.
Hey, look at me. We're floating.
They huddle up to look out the window.
Look. It's China.
I was like, you guys are nuts.
No.
Because my panic level watching this horribly affected movie, like bad effects in this movie.
Bad special effects. I'm still just like, oh God.
My anxiety is going up. I'm freaking out. I'm like, hell fucking to the no. I couldn't deal with this. And these kids are like,
oh, look.
Like it's a ride at Disneyland.
Right.
But essentially at this point, if you really want a quick synopsis, this isn't going to be how we wrap things up by any means. But I mean, if you just want to hear a quick one, I can do this for you. Have you seen Apollo 13?
Yes.
Essentially from this point,
it's
for the
Apollo
next,
13.
for at least 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I would say it's Apollo 13.
Oh no, we don't have enough oxygen. We have to find a way to get away for more oxygen.
If anything, this is Apollo 13 to the nth degree because they can't talk to anybody.
Oh yeah, Apollo 13 still had radio communication.
And they're trying to figure it out on their own. And so we get this magical moment where we keep seeing like cutaways of on the space shuttle on the ground, right? And on the ground, people are being like, they need to. They even say it. They're like, oh shit, they're not going to have enough oxygen.
They're not going to have enough oxygen.
And Zach says it, right? He's like, oh,
Daedalus.
They need to make it to Daedalus.
They have to get to the space station. Hopefully, they have the same thought because we can't tell them,
right? And so when we see them magically start going there, at some point when all of this is going on, again, this is the point point where there was probably more than half of the movie left, but it really kind of coasts through.
Yeah.
Like we can hit the points without having
There's
to,
a
like,
lot of space shots that go on forever.
While they're having all of this, while all this confusion is going on though, right? Like someone brings up, what should they be telling
The press.
the press, right? Like they're like, look, at this
we
point
can't keep this quiet.
everyone has
they're
heard
gonna
a ship take off.
They know that the space shuttle launched.
We got to do something.
And Zach's just like, tell them the truth. We launched my wife and a bunch of kids into space. Nobody will believe you anyway.
Right? This is that moment where if you didn't know, now
If you weren't paying attention, you're like, wait, you all are fucking married?
Because I definitely didn't realize that.
I didn't
right?
either. He's way too old for her.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with it.
While we're on the spaceship, we get lots of dumb motivational speeches from Andy, right? Like, again, like she starts saying the kind of stuff where it's like, can you be more obvious? She's like, we got to work together now, guys. And it's
Teamwork.
Like, obviously,
We've got to come together.
We're stuck
as a
in
group.
space. Like, I don't need you to tell me this.
Right? Just tell me what we need to do to get more oxygen
That
on this
would be
motherfucker.
useful. We're
What's
running
the
out of
plan?
oxygen. Stop wasting your breath
Right.
on dumb stuff.
I don't need his motivational speech. I need clear, concise orders on what the fuck we're doing about it.
And that's exactly how I felt about it. But she does. She comes up with the same plan. She's like, oh, shit.
We got to go to that space station. They'll have oxygen.
Right? I don't remember what it was. Like somebody said something about like, if only it were already here. Like something stupid. And she was like,
No, it's even dumber because I thought this was so fucking stupid because Kevin said, like, we need more oxygen. And Kevin goes, well, I'll just hop down to 7-Eleven and grab some.
oh, yeah, that's right.
And then she pops up and is like, data. I'm like, how the fuck do you get that connection?
Because it's like Space 7-Eleven.
Sure. Just pop down to the data list for a hot dog and a Slurpee.
But so they changed their...
Half a tank of oxygen.
They change their angle. They start heading to the space station. People on Earth are like, oh, look, they're doing
going.
it.
They had thank God they're smart as we are.
This brought up one of my biggest problems with the whole thing, right?
This is the longest section of my notes.
There's a lot of issues that are about to start happening, but if we have something that is relaying that information
Yeah, like the telemetry and shit.
from space, right? That means it's some kind of long range something.
Transponder, not quite a radio, I guess.
But the signal has to be coming on
Just kind of
something.
beeping.
But the signal, that beeping is what?
Couldn't you
a
just-
radio signal. You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's a sound wave isn't going that far.
You could still get some kind of signal through.
It is sending a signal of some sort.
not a radar. Damn sure ain't radar.
Well, and again,
it's too far.
Well, and again, like they show us it in 2D, but you got to understand it's actually 3-dimensional, and they know 3-dimensional locations in space. So it is very much that they're getting like GPS data, which
Yeah.
means there is something with a signal. How are they getting a signal, but they can't communicate? Like again, I'm not saying vocally communicate, but
some kind of beep 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 communication.
well, not even what they're doing. Like I mean, like because they decide to do the
Oh yeah, because Tish comes up and is like, "Hey, I got an idea.
I
read a book
Morse
on
code."
Morse code." So she
But
starts flipping that switch.
But I mean, like full on, they should have been able to do some kind of if they're getting that kind of information on
Piggyback
the
the
signal, they
off
should
of
have been
that
able to
the
figure out a way to
radio,
do something.
Yeah, they do it in Star Trek all the time. They just
They do
relay
it
the
in-
signal and shit.
They do it in Apollo 13, and that movie is based on what they really did 30 years before this, or 20 years, excuse me.
Very true.
This is my problem. All right, we need to move on. You see the problem.
I do, but
The problem is there.
I didn't even catch that problem. I thought you were going to talk about the shitty design of the stupid fucking space
that's
station.
next. That's next. We weren't even there.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I missed this part. My notes are all about who designed this fucking piece of shit.
Now is when we get our first, sorry, like you said, glimpse at the data list. It is for sure the dumbest design thing I've ever seen.
It's just a big giant cage of metal bars with a couple satellites on it.
And oxygen tanks
And
in the middle.
in the fucking middle in a circle. Why?
I don't know. But before we get to the biggest problem with that, we got to say what's going on here. So
Yeah,
when
okay.
they get there,
Andy suits up.
she suits up and she's like, I got to go out. I got to go get him, which is a double conundrum, right? Like it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing to do here?
Send the most experienced person to their possible death.
Should you also vote on sending a child?
Also not a good decision.
Like I said, it's a double-edged sword.
Nobody wins here, do they?
No, it's bad versus bad.
We just needed one more adult. We needed an expendable adult.
Zach should have been on the shuttle.
Too bad. We no heroic death for Tom Skerritt in this movie.
You're right. Andy goes out. She gets out there. And we see why this is such a dumb design problem now. This is why I didn't want to say it too soon. We had to set up that she goes out there. They open up the shuttle and she goes
She's
out.
in the cool the
MME
EV chair.
MME, I think is what they kept calling. I don't know what it stands for.
It's like a jetpack chair thing.
But so she flies it up there, and then she's like, well, I'm going to have to take it off. I can't get to these things unless I take it off. You hear Tish, that's the worst thing you could ever do.
You're going to float off into space and
there's
disappear.
Nothingness. And again, this is from the moment this scene starts until it ends, which is a good little bit. I have anxiety from when I was a child, and I have anxiety when I watch it now. It is so fear-inducing for me.
Because she's out there and their timer in the shuttle is like, we got like 20 minutes of air left.
That. I don't even care about what happens inside, dude. To me, it's all the outside stuff.
All the outside stuff.
These are the reasons I couldn't do space. Because of the shit she starts dealing with out there. Where she's like, oh, I can't fucking reach this. And now she might fly off into nothingness and nothing can help. Those types of things I can't handle. Like the whole concept of vast nothingness and you're lost. Like nothing can get you. You're just floating. Yeah. You're just drifting away. You just have to watch yourself get further away from things.
Oh, so the scene later with Max is you just eyes shut. You're not watching it.
As I said, from the moment this scene starts until the moment
everybody is back on the ship.
Until the whole spacewalk is over.
That's like 20 minutes almost.
I said it, man. I'm getting a lump in my throat talking about it. It freaks me out so bad.
What really got me is like she takes off the suit and she's like reaching for the tank, and then her helmet, that thud.
Well, again,
and just the depression in that noise.
Well, she's small.
She still can't reach it though.
So, but my point, like you said,
who designed this stupid thing?
It's dumb looking. It's not practical. If a person can't get to the oxygen tank and it's so far inset that no robotic arm is getting to said tank.
Absolute stupidity.
Who, what, when, where, why were those things there?
How do you use this shit?
It makes no sense. But so then we get the genius idea. Again, I said earlier we shouldn't have... Well, I don't know if we should send her or not. There's no good call.
Yeah, there's no real good call there.
Because you shouldn't send a kid out. But what do?
We send the smallest kid out.
Oh, that makes sense.
The tiniest one. Well, he'll fit.
But he won't fit.
We make him fit.
No, he fits out there, but he doesn't fit the suit.
Oh, yeah, the suit. We don't fit in the space
What do they do to him?
They cinch him in it with a bunch of straps.
With no care about structural integrity.
Yeah, get it real nice and cinched
Nobody
down.
stops and takes a moment to be like,
easily
dude, is that actually oxygen? Is it airtight? Nobody checks anything.
Fucking gasket.
Nobody does anything. You guys have to see this to believe it.
They cinch him in it.
It is every angle. It is cartoon style.
It is cartoonishly fucking cinched down with this orange safety strap shit.
But so then he goes outside. He has to strap himself to the arm, much like he did in training.
But this stupid
foreshadowing.
He makes
like we said, it all comes back.
It all pays off.
He practiced this already.
He's in the chair again, but he looked down or up or sideways.
It doesn't matter. It's space.
He looked off into the deep of nothing and he freaked.
Why you should never have done this?
Dude, I would have done the same thing. I would have been like, no, fuck you. Let me back in the ship. But Kevin talks him down. He does a version of the Obi-Wan speech, I'll say. The Luke, trust the Force, Luke. That whole gimmick. But you can't do the actual one because you'll get sued by George Lucas.
You're right. The moment with Kev, though, like he gives his half-hearted,
his legally distinct Star Wars speech,
half imitation, is a moment where it's supposed to be presented like he's giving the motivational speech.
Yeah.
But to me, it was like he's showing off in a movie of gaslighting. He's showing off that he's King Gaslighter, right? He was like, I know how I can make this kid do what we want.
I know exactly what to do.
Even though he doesn't want to do
into
it.
his fantasy world where he'll think he's Luke Skywalker again. Fast forward to when this kid is older and in therapy and thinks he's actually like Luke Skywalker and shit.
It's so panic-inducing, dude.
It is.
Everything out there, and then they run out of fucking oxygen inside.
And they're just like, well, now we've only got what's in here. Hope we don't die. But Max and Andy get the tanks.
And then she's like, I gotta take them. You gotta stay here.
Right?
I'm gonna take them back to the ship.
I'm gonna take this first one you wait. I'll come back and get you.
No, not even you wait.
Oh,
You work on the other one.
Oh,
which is stupid.
right?
Because there's no one there to... Okay.
He's a little kid.
And it's exactly what happens. Let's stop beating around it. So she leaves.
The tank gets stuck, and he
and
gives
he
it a
pulls
good
it,
mighty yank and
it
inertia.
goes flying.
And off he goes, off into space.
He grabs the satellite dish.
Your worst fucking
Oh,
nightmare.
yes, dude. And he grabs the satellite dish.
And it breaks.
Snaps.
Just
And he's
snaps.
flying away.
Off he goes.
Floating away into nothingness in space. Dude,
Toward the moon, even.
he floats past Andy, and the uncaring Max that comes out of her mouth. Like,
Max.
he's floating. Yes.
Oh, no.
I was like, so she's not conserving oxygen in the spacesuit right now. Why was she saying it that way?
Right.
Why was she like, Max?
All right. Real life, he's gone. You can't catch up to him. I'm pretty sure, like, he's even with her, even with her little thruster backpack.
She makes it look like he's halfway to the moon.
Yeah, like, he's gone. We never see Max again in real life, but thank fuck this is a movie.
Yeah.
and she catches him.
Gets him back.
And they put her back to the station.
She's telling, wait till your parents get the bill.
Get the bill for breaking the station.
I was like, bitch, NASA done fucked up and launched me into space.
Wait till they hear from my lawyers.
Ain't nobody billing me shit. They're paying me.
Right.
College is done.
Right. I can go to whatever college I want to. I own this fucking shuttle now.
But then when they get back, it's time to hook the first oxygen tank up.
It's just
right?
one goddamn problem after another, isn't it?
Well, and this is what's outrageous, right? Like, all of these kids are supposed to be pseudo-intelligent, right?
Yep.
And as Rudy points out, he is only trained how to read these schematics. It shouldn't be this hard to read a color-to-color schematic diagram of how to hook this thing up.
And you haven't been without oxygen.
No. There's no
long.
deprivation problem.
Like, you're not going
Well, they
loopy.
said earlier the
You're
tank
just
was empty, but the cabin
still has it. You might be just kind of
panicked.
feeling
you
like
might be
you're
panicked.
having a hard
you
time
might be
breathing.
panicked,
But
That's
you are
it.
not delirious at any point.
But
at this
they
point.
struggle. It's just like earlier. Again, flashback to the everything
the
has
simulator.
to be important. Yeah. And so Catherine's trying to be like, no, it's this way. And he's like, no, it's this way.
Trey, and he insists on it.
It's the blue one by the yellow one. And
It-
she's like, it's the blue one by the red one. And well, first he said green. She's like, there's no blue one by a green. You guys get it? It's the bomb conundrum. We
Yep.
understand this.
If one goes, we blow up. If one goes, we have oxygen's how it's going, basically. And Rudy's like, no, do it. It is the yellow one. I have read
And
all
so
this shit.
She listens to him. My biggest problem with this was the props guy colorblind because the hoses were gray,
They were all gray.
right?
There was one red one I saw in the corner. There's a red one, but the rest of them are like grayish blue.
I was struggling. If I was struggling when she kept saying it. When they kept saying it's a blue one.
Was
I was
there
like,
a yellow one? I didn't even see a yellow
blue.
one.
I would say the stuff was solidly
I just saw a red
gray.
one. That was the only one I saw.
was
the rest of them, I was like, those are kind of gray.
I was
rest
like,
of
no
these.
wonder we have such a problem with this. NASA should do better.
Right, just cut to Andy outside. Like they're all gray. I don't know what
There's
you're
not a
talking
single
about.
blue
There's
here.
not a color. They're all gray.
But she hooks it up. Success. We hear that.
The look
with
on
the
Kat's
oxygen,
face, though.
The oxygen through the cabin.
Kat's face, though. She's just like, oh, I would have killed all of us. God damn it. She fucking knows it. Now she's got to be a little bit more humble. You don't have to know everything or do everything.
Again,
bitch.
right after they hook it up and the tank starts to fill up, we see more of this magical computer tech where the signal is telling them
They know
something.
they have oxygen now back at NASA.
So are you not denying?
Yeah, they should be able to talk to them somehow.
If it is that in depth of a signal,
that they can read their O2 sensors and where their exact position
because
is.
that's straight computer code being transferred.
They should be able to send a text message onto the screen. Like, hey, type it on. Like,
thank you. This is what I was saying before. It's ridiculous.
Unless you're on the dark side of the moon, you can figure something out.
But we're still not safe yet.
Fuck no.
Andy blasts herself into the fucking side of the space shuttle.
I don't know how she fucked this up. She's
like,
opened the tank too early or something.
Way before she was supposed to. Or something.
I don't know what happened, but she gets blasted to the other side, smashed into it.
Let's go to the tank so they don't even have their extra oxygen.
Yep. And then she's just kind of dangling in space.
This is when NASA decides they're going to auto.
Oh yeah, they're just like, oh, they got oxygen now. Autopilot. They're going to shut the doors on them and shit.
If you have no way to communicate, you would never start doing the auto
No, because
stuff.
you'd have no way of knowing
what's safe and what's not.
Who's inside, outside.
Because you knew someone had to go out to get the tank.
NASA would have waited until they shut the doors,
right?
Then initiated the autopilot shit.
But yeah, so now it's starting to fly, and they're like, well, what are we going to do? Because she's going to burn up.
She's still outside, and poor Max, he's trying.
Because he's inside. Yeah, he's pulling, but he can't
the little tether.
He doesn't do anything because again, it's
little,
airtight.
He can't get her in.
Well, I mean, it's airtight. He couldn't.
I know. The poor kid. I felt so bad for him. He's trying.
But again, here's the real kicker here is if they don't fix it, she's
gonna burn up in the atmosphere, and she's dead.
And so they only have one course of option.
Yeah, there's an abort switch.
Well, but if we abort, dude,
how are we gonna get home? We won't have enough oxygen to get to the next one. What do? Kat's got to make a decision. She stalls.
And finally, though, they make the. I mean, come on.
Fucking Kev finally comes in and is like, dude, smack, hits that button. He's like, we're not leaving her out there. You go do this. You get the med kit. Open the doors. Max, pull her the fuck in.
And so now Max again is doing that.
Finally, Kevin gives a shit and is taking command and being responsible for the first time ever.
We see two things that happen, right? Are in the space shuttle. Aha moment.
Yeah.
Because we get two. We get the on the ground aha and we get the space shuttle. So on the space shuttle, the aha moment is that Rudy comes in and he's like, I think I know what we can do, guys.
Wasn't there that one space shuttle that landed in an emergency?
White Plains?
White Plains? That's in New York, you idiot.
White Sands. New Mexico.
That's nice and flat.
They did it once. Columbia, 82. Look it up. It happened.
That's what we're going to do. And they start working on like the trajectory.
They're like, okay,
they're starting to do the math and shit.
Well, because Tisha's fucking good with math, dude.
Right?
Everything comes full fucking circle. But then we get our on the ground aha moment as Jinx has finally made his way for the 20-mile trek that he's been rolling, I guess, right?
All the way to NASA.
But so he gets in, as soon as he walks in, he sees it. Literally, he sees the light flashing Morse code and he says, Yo, Max!
Yo, Max!
Right?
And starts translating the code.
He started with Yo, Max. I was like, stop it right now, that fucking robot. Well, he starts saying it and everybody thinks he's just fucking spouting gibberish at first, right?
Yeah, because he's saying the letters.
But Zach kind of catches it. He's like, wait,
spelling something.
He's like, wait, because they're trying to throw him out. He puts his legs
his little robot spindly feet out trying to stop him.
And he realizes that they're right. And he's like, oh, wait.
He's spelling mission control.
Yeah, he's like, somebody else start translating. I'm like, well, you've got a robot doing it. Why do you need someone
the dude?
else?
Let the
someone else just start writing it down.
That voice is annoying, I guess.
Whatever. But then he even looks at Jinx. I'm going to buy you a bottle of oil or some shit.
I owe you a can of oil, buddy.
And I was like, because that kind of robot is using oil for anything, dude. Like, come on, let's show your age. And then all of a sudden we see up on the space shuttle. At first, Tish doesn't know what's happening, right?
Yeah, her console starts flickering.
She thinks she's
like,
just
what's
like
going
one
on
more
now?
problem.
God damn it.
But then when she realizes what it is, did you get this quote from her when she realizes it's Morse code? She says, "Whip me, beat me, take away my charge card."
I heard the take away my charge card. I didn't hear the first part.
Whip me, beat me.
Whip me, beat me, take away my charge card.
Yeah, so now we see ground control can talk to them. They can talk back. Things are good. They just now finally find out on ground control that Andy's not awake, so that Catherine's gonna have to be doing the landing.
She's flying it, and they talk about the White Plains thing. Their math is wrong, apparently.
But it's okay. They fix it.
Yeah,
everything's
NASA
okay.
gives them the right trajectory.
Like, I mean, it's such a small thing that's not
they
even
were
like
off like 15 points.
Well,
or something
it wasn't even
that.
like a blip on like the movies rate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as far as like the amount of things that have gone wrong.
Yeah, it's
right?
just
they're
like,
just literally like,
they
oh,
get
by
the number
way.
and they're like, oh, we had this. We were close. That's
Right.
like all it was.
As they're starting to get everything ready to finally come in for the final takedown, Andy wakes up and she's like, "Give me a helmet, let me talk." And I was like, trying to steal some thunder.
Yeah,
bitch.
a little bit.
Wasn't she? The way she started talking.
No, I'm not unconscious for this. I'm still the hero.
Yeah, the way
I'm going to get the medal for this.
The way she was talking, I was like, "Stop it! You just sit your fucking
sit the
ass
fuck down. Let the kids handle this."
At this point, though, they're finally coming in, and you're literally thinking to yourself at this point, you're like, for the love of everything that is special in the world,
let these kids be done. There's been so much.
They've gone through so many things. We get one more.
Just one.
They're coming in, and they need to do that weird 180 thing, right?
You got to have the right angle.
And everybody's like, it's easy, it's simple.
Just gotta keep the thing at 30
as Catherine
degrees,
starts to do it before she even touches it, before she touches the controls,
right?
It starts to do the dead spin.
Anybody remember the spinny chair from earlier?
Exactly. It's literally when you look. She starts.
This is our final payoff.
She literally she starts tapping Kev and even says, "Look out the window," because she's trying to say, "Look, it's the spinny chair.
It's the same as the chair."
Oh my God.
This goes on a little longer than I think it needs to.
It definitely does.
This whole spinning thing.
She fixes
it in the end, and the autopilot takes over.
Everything's good.
Everybody's happy.
Everybody lands. It's all
like the end of the movie.
Well, as they're coming in, I want to say though, they do literally come in hot.
Yeah, they're on fire and shit.
Well, because she needed to pull on the.
Yeah, they were at too shallow of an angle, so they're on the verge of almost burning up.
The only thing they did to not make that seem funnier was literally say that they're literally coming in hot, or B, show them sweating.
Yeah, sweating.
Again, it was just to up the drama for a split second. Once she'd already done the 180 flip, you knew they were coming in, right?
Yeah, you knew it was going to be good.
If they were going to die, it was going to happen way
before this. No, that'd be too mean. You can't, like, right the last 5 fucking minutes of the movie.
Right.
Oh, they died.
Well, think about again the timing.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
It's the last one, we promise.
Yeah. At this point, we just get triumphant music, shuttle lands.
Cue Top Gun music.
My last thing I'll say is the only thing I really would have wanted more from the ending would have been if we could have seen the actual uproar from the families.
Yeah, right.
At NASA,
everybody.
SpaceCamp.
Yeah, just like because like you know the other campers are not just going about camp activities at this point. They're watching, and listening to the radio and shit, ready to fucking go.
All right,
but yeah, that's it.
I think obviously you can tell I enjoy this movie. I think you can tell Bo loved this movie. Definitely feeling like he missed out.
I did. I missed out when I was a kid. I'm so mad.
The beer, also good.
Very good.
Look out when you open it.
Yeah,
it will take off.
It will lift off on you.
Sounds like a space shuttle going.
It really does. You go. Psst.
Got the bitter notes, but it's got a nice clean
it's nice
taste
and
to
clean to it. You just sit and you just drink it. It doesn't bother you at all.
Definitely recommend this one.
Oh yeah, go try it. Liftoff by Daredevil Brewing Company.
All right, so what beer are we gonna drink next week then?
Next week we got Kona Brewing Company's Big Wave.
That's right.
We're gonna go do some waves, something oceany, I guess.
We'll see.
We went to space. Let's go to the ocean now.
We're just going the opposite way.
Yeah, the other unexplored territory.
Let's see if you guys can figure out what that one is. All right, man. I think we're done.
Are we done? I want to go play with some model rockets. I know we got some somewhere. White Sands.